Chapter 1807. Rumble. An earth-shattering sound. A huge palm print condensed in the void and instantly enveloped Qin Feng. Wu Qiming hurriedly screamed. Ayaya! President Long's palm is too reckless, isn't that kid going to be slapped to death? Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory requires a jade token to enter. He'll only be ejected if he tries to force his way in. Halfway through his sentence, Wu Qiming suddenly shut his mouth, revealing a shocked expression. Not only him, but Long Aotian's eyes also almost fell to the ground. When he unleashed that palm strike with all his might, he regretted it. Qin Feng would definitely die under that palm strike. In that case, the pill recipe for the Spirit Surge pill, the Heavenly Fire Spirit Sunflower, and the many treasures on Qin Feng's body might all be lost. However, the two of them clearly thought too much. The palm print missed and smashed a mountain peak into pieces, but Qin Feng disappeared into thin air and actually entered the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory. He went in? Wu Qiming looked astonished, as if he was talking to himself. Long Aotian came back to his senses. His expression was so cold that it was about to freeze. Looks like the news I received is true. That Qin guy went to Ouyang Manor. He most likely cured Madame Xia and obtained Ouyang Jun's Violet Cloud Valley Jade token. Wu Qiming suddenly realized that the news of Qin Feng in Violet Cloud City was actually spread by Elder Wu Shi. Now that he thought about it carefully, Long Aotian's guess was most likely true. Did this kid save the divine continent in his previous life? His luck is so heaven-defying. Wu Qiming began to feel jealous of Qin Feng. This kid only had 3 changes of Buddha aura, yet he escaped unscathed from the 4 sects encirclement, and even killed all the disciples from the 4 sections. Long Aotian was depressed thinking about this. He didn't know how to explain this to the Dragon Soul sect master when he returned. Humph! It's a good thing that this kid entered the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory. Long Aotian suddenly sneered. Wu Qiming couldn't understand his thoughts at all, but before he could ask, Long Aotian continued. Rumor has it that there are many resources in Violet Cloud Valley's mystic realm. There are countless spirit herbs, spirit beasts, and materials for forging and setting up formations. When that surnamed Qin guy comes out with those treasures, won't those things be ours? Wu Qiming had an epiphany. In the end, Qin Feng was only a Buddha's light stage cultivator. The reason why he could kill so many disciples today and still escape unscathed was firstly because he had the protection of the level 6 defensive array, and secondly because his luck was heaven-defying and he just happened to run into the entrance of the Violet Cloud Valley. Otherwise, even if he gave it his all, it would be hard for him to escape death today. I heard that Violet Afterglow Valley's exit is the same as the entrance, constantly changing. Could it be that we're going to wait here? Wu Qiming asked. If you want to guard this place, you can stay here alone. I need to return and report the situation. Even though the Northern Sand region is huge, the Dragonrise Merchant Guild's influence is everywhere. Even if that Qin fella hides at the ends of the world, the Dragonrise Merchant Guild will still find him. Long Aotian flew away. Wu Qiming stood at the entrance of the Violet Cloud Valley and cursed a few times before turning into a black fog and disappearing into the distance. Qin Feng was gambling with his life. He put away the level 6 defensive array and used the teleportation array to enter the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory's entrance. Luckily, his gamble was successful. The instant he entered the secret territory's entrance, the Violet Cloud Valley Jade tablet on him sensed something and brought him into a space of nothingness. As a level 4 formation grandmaster, and having experienced teleportation arrays more than once, Qin Feng knew where he was being teleported to. Moreover, the distance of this teleportation array was definitely very far. Even with his Buddha's Light 3 changes cultivation, he still felt dizzy. After an unknown amount of time, Qin Feng fell into an unfamiliar desert. When he looked around, he felt a sense of familiarity yet distance. This is the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory? Qin Feng was somewhat disappointed. According to the rumors, there were many spirit herbs in the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory, spirit beasts ran amok, and there was even a spirit vein hidden within. However, in front of him was a boundless desert. Apart from the spirit chi being denser than outside, there was not a single living plant within a radius of several hundred miles. Why do I feel that this place is somewhat familiar, as if I've seen it somewhere before? Qin Feng calmed himself down and planned to sit on the flying cloud all to look elsewhere. Since the outside world said that the Violet Cloud Valley was one of the northern sand region's 8 sacred territories, there was naturally a reason for it. Perhaps he just hadn't found the right place yet. However, before he could take out the soaring cloud a dangerous aura gushed out from all directions. Countless small sand dunes suddenly emerged from the ground of the desolate desert. Each and every one of those sand dunes had an unknown object hidden within them, and they were rapidly drilling towards him. Rumble! Without hesitation, Qin Feng slashed with his blade. The golden phoenix brought with it a several 100-meter-long blade aura, splitting the sand in front of him into two. The small sand dunes that were hit by the blade aura exploded into flying sand, and countless giant poisonous scorpions flew out from the surrounding sand dunes. Poisonous scorpion slaughterhouse? The moment Qin Feng saw the giant poisonous scorpions, he involuntarily uttered the name. He suddenly realized why he felt a sense of familiarity when he first arrived at this desert. This place was the same as the Poison Sun City he had been to in the Divine Great Land, and the area before him was exactly the same as the poisonous scorpion slaughterhouse. However, the poisonous scorpions hidden in this desert were slightly larger than those in the Divine Great Land. Although there were many poisonous scorpions, they were only low-level beasts. When Qin Feng's blade fell a few times, the desert was already littered with the corpses of the poisonous scorpions. The poisonous scorpions here even had the same body structure as those in the poisonous scorpion slaughterhouse in the Divine Great Land, with shiny spirit stones hidden behind their heads. Qin Feng wasn't in the mood to collect these small spirit stones, nor did he chase after the poisonous scorpions that were scared away. He suddenly arrived at the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory. Before he could fully understand the situation here, he discovered a new situation. Qin Feng began to believe that this place was a part of the Divine Great Land because Su Ruoro and the other women were transported from the Divine Great Land to the Divine Supreme Mainland. However, Qin Feng could not figure out how the two continents merged 2 years ago. After realizing that this was Poison Sun City, Qin Feng became more familiar with the surroundings. Previously, he had specifically gone to Poison Sun City to look for Su Ruoro, Chioya, and the Thousand Illusion Child, so he was very familiar with this place. Half an hour later, Qin Feng drove the flying cloud all out of the boundless desert. He was pleasantly surprised to find that this place really was the Poison Sun City of the Divine Great Land. He arrived at the Fire Beast Battalion according to the terrain in his memory, and saw the scenery of an oasis dotted with stars. However, Qin Feng also discovered something different. This wasn't the Poison Sun City that he was familiar with. This was because the Violet Cloud Valley's secret realm was much larger than Poison Sun City. On the way here, he passed by a few places that he had never seen before. Master, when the Divine Mainland merged 2 years ago, not only did it merge with the Divine Mainland, but many other planes were also merged. Little Pig's voice suddenly sounded. Qin Feng understood what he meant. The Poison Sun City in front of him was most likely a new plane formed after the Poison Sun City of the Divine Continent merged with another plane. At this moment, he couldn't help but think of the immortal island that was created by the system. When the Divine Mainland had merged, the immortal island had also merged with it. However, Qin Feng hadn't sensed anything until now. When he saw Poison Sun City, he realized that the immortal island was also on the Divine Mainland. Moreover, it might exist in some corner of the other 3 continents. The Divine Continent's Poison Sun City was vast, and it was one of the training grounds used by cultivators to complete missions. There were dozens of mission locations, such as the Venomous Scorpion Slaughterhouse, the Fire Beast Camp, the Sandstone Array, the Origin of Storms, the Blazing Fire Spring, and so on. Back then, in order to find Su Ruoro and the other 2 women, Qin Feng had practically searched every corner of Poison Sun City. The Earth Fire Purple Serene Flame that he now possessed was also found at the legendary Heavenly Fire Mission Point. After flying for an unknown period of time, Qinfen felt a few powerful divine senses sweep over, followed by an aged voice. "Fellow Taoist, please come over and have a chat." Qinfen quickly found the source of the voice. It came from a sandy area several thousand meters away. Although it was a little far, he could tell that the other party was at least a mid-stage true spirit expert. Otherwise, their divine senses wouldn't be able to reach him. Finally, he met a living person in the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory. For a moment, Qinfen didn't know whether he should be happy or worried. This place was definitely a world of experts. With his current cultivation of the 3 changes of Buddha aura, how could he deal with a cultivator who was shouting? In the blink of an eye, the soaring cloud all had already crossed the distance. Qinfen had no choice but to land on the sandy area. Since the other party only shouted and didn't forcefully stop him, there was naturally room for negotiation. If he ignored everything and left now, it was very likely that the other party would attack him out of anger. 3 seniors, may I know why you are looking for this junior? As soon as he came down from the soaring cloud all, Qinfen's heart tensed up. There were 3 old men standing on the sandy area. Their auras were incomparably strong, even he couldn't see through them. The 3 people's gazes fell on Qinfen. Greed flashed in their eyes. They had their eyes on the soaring cloud all that Qinfen used. Its flying speed had definitely reached the level of a true artifact. Even though the 3 of them were true spirit realm experts, they only used low-grade true artifact-level aircraft. It was very likely that it wasn't as good as Qinfen's soaring cloud all. However, the 3 of them didn't mention the soaring cloud all. Instead, the old man who shouted for Qinfen to land spoke. "My name is Zhang Shuifeng. This is Bai Ling. This is Blackface." Qinfen carefully scanned the 3 people. Although he couldn't see through their realms, he could see that the old man who spoke had the strongest aura. He should be the man leading the 3. As for the cultivator called Blackface, he was wearing a black mask. That mask was a spirit artifact, so he couldn't see through his appearance. Qinfen knew that Blackface definitely wasn't the cultivator's real name. It was just an alias he made up because of the mask. As for whether Zhang Shuifeng and Bai Ling's names were real, Qinfen couldn't be sure. "Junior Jing Shui. I happened to pass by this place. If the 3 seniors don't have anything else, Junior will take his leave first." Before entering the teleportation array, Qinfen had changed his appearance. Now that Qinfen and Xiao Feng's identities were famous in the northern Sand Continent, he had no choice but to use the identity of Jing Shui. Seeing that Qinfen was in a hurry to leave, Zhang Shuifeng immediately said, "Fellow cultivator, don't be in a hurry. I believe that you came here to find the purple spectral flame. The 3 of us also came here for it. Moreover, we don't know each other. A few days ago, we met here and planned to form a team. Why don't you join our team?" Qinfen already knew the harsh conditions to enter the Purple Cloud Valley's secret territory. Not only did they need a jade plate, they also needed to encounter the entrance of the Purple Cloud Valley. From this, it seemed that the cultivators who could enter the Purple Cloud Valley's secret territory wouldn't have a low cultivation. If they formed a team, it would indeed reduce a lot of risk. However, Qinfen didn't believe that Zhang Shuifeng and the other 2 really wanted to form a team with him. These 3 old guys had all stepped into the true spirit realm, and he had only shown the 3 changes of Buddha aura. If he brought them along, he would instead be a burden to Zhang Shuifeng and the other 2. Although he guessed this in his heart, Qinfen wouldn't say it out loud. If he caused the other party to shed all pretense of cordiality, he wouldn't even know how he died. It is Junior's honor to form a team with the 3 seniors. However, Junior has no intention of finding the purple spectral flame. Qinfen tactfully refused. Zhang Shuifeng's expression changed slightly, but he quickly regained his calm expression. "Young hero Jing Shui, legend has it that the heavenly fire land hides the purple spectral flame, ranked 5th on the divine supreme continent. Every cultivator who enters the Purple Cloud Valley will come here to try their luck. I know that young hero has his guard up, but you don't have to be like this. If we have any ill intentions towards you, we can attack at any time. Why do this unnecessary thing? Zhang Shuefeng said that he was just and selfless, but this was the divine supreme continent. No cultivator would help others for no reason. The more he acted like this, the more Qin Fen felt that there was a big problem with this person. Qin Fen felt a bit amused. According to the legend, the purple spectral flame of the heavenly fire land had already been taken away by him. However, this matter couldn't be said, or else he would die without a burial. Since Senior is kind enough to help, then Junior will not be polite. I'm just afraid of burdening the 3 seniors. Qin Fen really wanted to leave, but he knew that he couldn't leave now. He had no choice but to compromise for now. It wouldn't be too late to leave when he found an opportunity. Seeing that he agreed, Zhang Shuefeng and Bai Ling's eyes lit up. As for the black-masked cultivator, his entire face was covered, and even his facial features couldn't be seen. After joining the group, the 3 of them didn't show any unusual behavior. Along the way, Zhang Shuefeng asked Qin Fen some personal questions, as if he was secretly probing for something. Bai Ling and the black-masked cultivator didn't speak along the way. Only then did Qin Fen realize that the 3 of them really didn't seem to know each other before. After walking for half a day, the 4 of them arrived at the depths of the heavenly fire land. In front of them was a boundless desert, and the surrounding environment was extremely harsh. The sandstorm never stopped. If it weren't for them using their energy to create a layer of protection around themselves, they would have been torn to pieces by the raging sandstorm. Senior Zhang, the environment in front is getting worse and worse. Are we still going to go deeper? Qin Fen suddenly stopped. He couldn't be more familiar with this area. If they continued forward, they would reach the source of the volcano. Back then, the giant winged fire demon was guarding this place. There was also a gigantic fire demon tree, and the purple spectral flame was hidden under the volcano. Young hero Jing, the legendary purple spectral flame of the earth fire often appears in front of us. However, there's a 7th grade fire beast guarding this place. If we encounter a fire beast, we'll work together to kill it. If we find the purple spectral flame, we'll split the fire seed evenly. Oh, right. Your cultivation is the lowest, so take this talisman. If you see that fire beast, just throw it on its body. Chapter 1808. Qin Feng took Zhang Shuefeng's talisman and sneered in his heart. This was a level 6 talisman. Others might not be able to recognize it, but with Qin Feng's experience, he could tell that it was a level 6 trapping talisman. Trapping talismans and trapping arrays were very different, but their effects were almost the same. A level 5 trapping array could trap Bai Zhanfei, who was in the 4th true spirit realm. It could be imagined how powerful a level 6 trapping array was. But Zhang Shuefeng gave Qin Feng a level 6 trapping talisman that could attack the fire demon. There was clearly some kind of scheme hidden within. Qin Feng didn't even need to think to know that the 3 of them were using him as bait to trap the fire demon, and then the 3 of them would work together to kill the fire demon. However, these 3 crafty old men had clearly found the wrong person. They had found Qin Feng, who was even more shrewd than them. Their seemingly flawless secret plan had been discovered by Qin Feng from the very beginning. Qin Feng was no longer thinking about the level 6 trapping talisman. He had another doubt. Wasn't the giant winged fire demon guarding the purple flame already subdued by him? Where was the fire demon guarding it now? Just as Qin Feng was guessing, a wild roar came from the depths of the sand. However, with this roar, the weather changed dramatically, and the surrounding environment became even worse. The already fierce sandstorm rampaged everywhere. If an ordinary person was thrown into this place, he would probably be torn to pieces in an instant. The expressions of Zhang Shuefeng and the others changed as they retreated 100 meters away. It's that fire demon beast that appeared. It seems like the purple flame is nearby. The black-masked cultivator spoke with a voice filled with excitement. Don't think about the purple flame for now. We'll talk about it after we eliminate that fire demon beast. Bai Ling's voice was very serious. Zhang Shuefeng quickly shouted at Qin Feng in the sandstorm. Young hero Jing, quickly use the talisman I gave you to attack the fire demon beast. When the fire demon appeared, The three old men immediately retreated and let Qin Feng charge in front. This action completely revealed their intentions. But Qin Feng pretended not to know as he stood in the center of the sandstorm. He remembered that he had subdued the giant winged fire demon in the divine continent, so he really wanted to see what kind of monster was hiding in the shadows. Soon, a huge figure appeared, faintly discernible in the sandstorm. When he saw that silhouette, Qin Feng's heart began to race. He was sure that it wasn't a gigantic winged fire demon. At the very least, it was 5 or 6 times larger than the fire demons he had subdued in the divine great land. That fellow was like a moving mountain, as if it brought a pressure to people's souls. 7th rank beast race. Qin Feng muttered to himself. Another huge figure immediately appeared in his mind. That was the time when he had taken the soaring dragon chamber of commerce's flying ship to explore the fallen god sea. On the way, he had encountered a rank 7 one-horned sea beast. However, Qin Feng did not even have the slightest desire to fight against a level 7 beast clan. A beast clan of this level was comparable to a true spirit realm expert. When Long Maotian fought against the one-horned sea beast, he used all his strength and only managed to severely injure the sea beast, allowing it to escape. However, the monster in front of him seemed to be even more ferocious than the one-horned sea beast. Seeing that the huge figure was getting closer, Qin Feng planned to take out his flying sword and leave this place. However, before he could move, his body suddenly froze on the spot. For a moment, he actually forgot to escape. The huge figure became clearer. It actually looked exactly like the gigantic winged fire demon. It had red skin that was as hard as a boulder, and a pair of huge wings grew on its back. However, its body was slightly larger. Roar, roar! The gigantic winged fire demon clearly discovered Qin Feng and roared at him. Immediately, a storm surged, blowing Qin Feng until he could barely stand. However, he was not afraid. Instead, he felt a sense of familiarity towards this fire demon beast. This feeling was very strange. Even Qin Feng himself could not explain it. He guessed that it was very likely because this fire demon beast in front of him was the same species as the gigantic winged fire demon he had subdued. Master, there's no doubt that this is a gigantic winged fire demon. Looking at its body, it should be middle-aged or old. It's very likely that it's the elder of the fire demon that Master subdued. Little Pig's voice sounded. Qin Feng's feelings were a bit complicated. It turned out that there wasn't just one fire demon beast guarding the legendary land of heavenly fire, but an entire race. He knew very well that Zhang Xuefeng and the others wanted to kill this fire demon beast. With their realms, it was very likely that they would succeed in the end. If it was any other beast race, Qin Feng definitely would not meddle. Right now, he could not even protect himself. However, he had subdued a gigantic winged fire demon and treated it like a child. How could he harden his heart and ignore it now? Young hero Jing, you still haven't made a move? If you don't, it'll be too late. Zhang Xuefeng's urging voice came from afar. Qin Feng wanted nothing more than to rush over and hack this sinister old man in half. However, he knew that his strength was far from enough. If he went, he would only be sending himself to death. Seniors, this fire demon beast is very fierce. I feel that even if we join forces, we won't be its opponent. Why don't we go back and think about it? Qin Feng tried to persuade them, but Zhang Xuefeng and the others clearly had no intention of retreating. Young hero Jing, don't be afraid. I gave you a level 7 fire talisman. As long as you throw it on the monster, you will definitely be able to severely injure it. Then, the 4 of us will join forces to kill the monster and obtain the purple flame together. Zhang Xuefeng threw out the bait again. If it was an ordinary Buddha light realm cultivator, they would definitely be enchanted by the purple flame of the earth fire and then listen to Zhang Xuefeng's words. However, Qin Feng was not an ordinary Buddha light realm cultivator. The treasures and knowledge he had were even more powerful than many true spirit realm powerhouses. Realizing that these 3 old men had no intention of retreating, Qin Feng immediately changed his strategy and shouted to the people behind him. All right, I will listen to Senior Zhang. However, don't hide so far away. If the level 7 fire talisman doesn't hit that fire demon beast, you guys can save my life. The three of them originally wanted to wait for Qinfen to use the trapping talisman to trap the fire demon before making a move. However, they felt Qinfen's fear. If they didn't rush over now, maybe the kid with the 3 changes of Buddha light would be scared away. The three of them looked at each other, and in the next moment, they flew to the center of the storm. However, before they could land, they saw Qinfen suddenly rushing over. Young hero Jing, what are you doing? Zhang Xuefeng raised his eyebrows and a trace of uneasiness rose in his heart. However, before he finished speaking, a paper talisman flew over. The paper talisman was originally only the size of a palm, but it kept growing in the air. Finally, it fell from the sky like a yellow sky net, completely trapping the three of them. You 3 old men, how dare you use a trapping talisman to trap me? This is retribution. When the trapping talisman trapped the 3 of them, Qinfen let out a long sigh of relief. These were 3 true spirit realm powerhouses, and Qinfen guessed that they were at least in the late stage of true spirit realm. Any one of them could kill him in an instant. It was Qinfen's first time using a level 6 trapping talisman. The powerful effect made him marvel. The paper talisman was like a 5-fingers mountain, pressing Zhang Xuefeng and the other 2 in the storm, unable to escape. Everything happened so quickly that the 3 of them were still in a daze when they were trapped. Although Qinfen had some sneak attacks when he threw the talisman, with the realms of Zhang Xuefeng and the other 2, even a sneak attack from Qinfen would not succeed. It was a pity that the 3 of them did not take Qinfen seriously from the beginning. They did not expect that because of a moment of carelessness, they would be tricked by Qinfen. Damn it! We were tricked by that ant. The black-masked cultivator cursed. Unfortunately, he was wearing a mask, so Qinfen could not see his angry expression. Bai Ling was also angry, but he was not in the mood to curse. He was trying his best to attack the trapping talisman, trying to escape. However, the level 6 trapping talisman was so powerful that it could not be broken in a short time. Not far away, the huge black shadow was getting closer and closer. The 3 of them were so anxious that they wanted to curse. Young hero Jing Shuai, what is the meaning of this? Hurry up and lure that fire demonic beast away, or our lives will be in danger. At the critical moment, Zhang Xuefeng put on a good guy face again. His acting skills had reached the point of perfection. However, in front of Jing Shuai, who had won an Oscar on Earth, his acting skills were very lacking. I think you still don't understand the situation. It's the 3 of you who are in danger. What does this have to do with me? Qinfen laughed coldly. He could not be bothered to talk nonsense with these 3 treacherous old men. Moreover, the giant winged fire demon was already close. Although Qinfen felt close to it, this level 7 spirit beast did not recognize Qinfen. With a flash of golden light, Qinfen disappeared into the storm on his flying sword. The giant winged fire demon only roared in the direction he left, but did not chase after him. Perhaps in the eyes of this fire demon, Qinfen's realm was nothing to be afraid of. It was more concerned about the existence of Zhang Xuefeng and the other 2. As for what would happen next, Qinfen was not clear. However, he was not worried about the safety of the giant winged fire demon. Zhang Xuefeng and the other 2 were trapped by the level 6 trapping talisman. He believed that they would not be able to break free in a short time. In this kind of situation, they were like human targets for the giant winged fire demon. After flying for a few thousand meters, Qinfen landed on the peak of a volcano. He originally planned to fly away from this land of legendary heavenly fire because the purple flame no longer existed here. However, when he passed by the source of the volcano, he felt a hot and familiar feeling. The purple flame? There's a purple flame under this volcano? Qinfen was stunned. Because he had subdued the purple flame's fire seed, he could feel it more clearly than anyone else. There was definitely a purple flame's fire seed hidden under the volcano he was stepping on. For a moment, he could not understand it. He even began to wonder if this place was Poison Sun City that had merged with the Divine Great Land. The environment and geographical location were exactly the same, but why did the purple flame still exist here? Master, you have a misunderstanding about heavenly flames. Legend has it that these heavenly flames were scattered from a higher plane during a great war between the gods tens of thousands of years ago. The flames fell into the divine great land and even other planes. After tens of thousands of years, they grew and became the heavenly flames we see today. These fire seeds do not exist alone. For example, the purple flame that Master possesses. In this land of legendary heavenly flames, there might be a few similar fire seeds hidden. Chapter 1809. After finding out that there really was a purple flame seed at the bottom of the volcano, Qin Feng jumped down. This volcano was unfathomably deep, and he didn't know how long he had been falling. The surrounding temperature became hotter and hotter, and the walls of the volcano became a fiery red, as if they were on fire. Qin Feng felt like his body couldn't take it anymore. His clothes were drenched in sweat, and his skin felt like it was being roasted on fire. The blood in his body was boiling, and it seemed like it was going to burst out of his blood vessels. With a muffled sound, Qin Feng's body emitted a dark purple flame. This was the release of the purple flame that he had subdued. After the purple flame appeared, the scorching temperature in the volcano returned to normal. The unbearable feeling in Qin Feng's body also disappeared. After the time it took for half an incense stick to burn, he finally reached the underground. He was surrounded by a volcanic cave, which was very similar to the cave where he subdued the purple serene flame. On top of a fiery red rock pool, a ball of purple flame fire seed was quietly burning. The flame had already developed intelligence, and seemed to have no ill intentions towards Qin Feng. It was curiously sizing him up. Master, you've already subdued a purple flame seed, so the same kind of fire seed will feel close to you, Little Pig explained. Qin Feng realized that his previous guess was correct. After he released the purple flame seed in the cave sensed its companion's aura and became docile. If other cultivators saw the purple serene flame, which was ranked 5th on the divine continent, they would be ecstatic. However, Qin Feng was pondering whether he should subdue the purple serene flame before him. This was because he had already subdued a purple flame. If he subdued the fire seed before him, it would not take too much effort. However, even if he did subdue it, it would not be of much help to him. After some consideration, Qin Feng decided to keep the purple serene flame for himself. After all, it was the 5th-ranked earth fire on the divine continent. He could give it to his woman or sell it to other cultivators at a high price. It only took him 2 hours to subdue the fire seed. Now, he already had 2 amethyst flame fire seeds. However, the instant the purple flame was taken away, a burst of dense spiritual energy surged from the fiery red rock pool. Qin Feng only took a breath and immediately felt refreshed. Little Pig, what's going on? Qin Feng suddenly became vigilant. He wasn't happy because of the sudden increase in spirit chi around him. Because he had experienced too many dangerous places, he knew that there must be something wrong with everything. However, this time, Qin Feng was too nervous. He heard Little Pig say, Master! The heavenly flame needs the supply of spiritual energy to survive, and they usually grow in places with abundant spiritual energy. Rumor has it that there is a huge spiritual vein hidden underground in the Jiangchuan area, and it is said that there are at least 2 kinds of purple flame kindling in the land of heavenly fire, which means that the spiritual vein is very likely to be underground. Qin Feng couldn't help but admire the little pig's intelligence. It seemed that this little fellow couldn't compare to the intelligence of its species on Earth. Qin Feng knew very well what a spirit vein represented. He had a spirit vein in his astral world, and it was the one he had stolen from the secret realm of the fallen god island. Therefore, when Qin Feng found out that there might be a huge spirit vein beneath his feet, he was extremely excited. Rumble! There was no time to waste. Qin Feng leaped up and landed with his saber. The golden phoenix slashed out a golden saber energy that was hundreds of meters long. However, the ground of the cave was not as hard as Qin Feng had imagined. With just one slash, a crack as thick as a person's waist appeared. Spirit chi surged up from the crack. It was even denser than the spirit chi in the astral world. Qin Feng resisted the urge to cultivate on the spot. He lay on the ground and looked down. He found that it was another unfathomably deep black hole. Qin Feng didn't know if there was any danger hidden under the black hole, but he used his divine sense to scan it. He didn't sense any danger, and it was very likely that there was a spirit vein hidden under the black hole. Even if there was danger, Qin Feng had to take the risk. He leaped down and began to fall endlessly. This time, it took longer than falling into the cave. Fortunately, he didn't encounter any trouble during the fall. When the tip of his feet touched the ground, Qin Feng suddenly felt a sense of security. He immediately looked around and was shocked by the scene in front of him. He was surrounded by dark cliffs. He didn't know how deep this place was from the surface. There was no light at all. He couldn't even see his fingers when he stretched out his hand. In front of Qin Feng was a wide riverbed. The river in it was sparkling, like the beautiful Milky Way at night. Qin Feng could tell at a glance that it was not an ordinary river, but a whole spirit vein. This spirit vein was twice as wide as the spirit vein he collected in the secret realm of the God-fallen island. The dense spirit chi it emitted seemed to be condensed into a substance. There were some flowers and grasses growing beside the riverbed. The lowest rank was a rank 4 spirit grass, and these spirit grasses didn't attract Qin Feng's attention. At this moment, he was staring at a few balls of dark flames floating above the spirit vein. They were all mysterious fire seeds. Black Lotus. That should be the 58th Earth Fire Black Lotus. Elder Su used this fire seed. 16th Earth Fire White Glory, 25th Heaven Fire Blue Heart Flame, Spirit Sunflower. At a glance, there were more than 10 unusual fires of different colors floating above the spirit vein. This scene was like a dream, and Qin Feng was dumbstruck. However, he quickly became disappointed. When he used his divine sense to scan the unusual fires, trying to capture them, the dozen or so flames scattered like frightened birds. Fuck! His speed of escape is too fast. In the blink of an eye, there was nothing above the spirit vein. It was as if the unusual fires had never appeared. Little Pig laughed and said, "Master, do you think the unusual fires of heaven and earth are so easy to subdue? Back then, you only managed to subdue the purple serene flame because you relied 70% on luck and 30% on strength. Unusual fires usually need spiritual items to lure them. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to capture them." Qin Feng's appetite was too big. He didn't know that many cultivators had never seen a heavenly flame appear in front of them in their entire lives. However, he had seen more than 10 heavenly flames at once. This was something that had never happened before. Realizing that the unusual fires had long disappeared, Qin Feng could only put his thoughts aside. There was still a spirit vein waiting for him to deal with. When he saw this spirit vein, Qin Feng thought of something else. He came to Violet Cloud Valley to explore this time. Firstly, it was to find this legendary spirit vein. Secondly, it was to find the white divine bird. Qin Feng wanted to use the white spirit bird's inner core to refine the white spirit pill to repair the Bright Moon Tower Master's damaged spiritual core. He also wanted to pluck a feather from the white spirit bird to refine an imprisonment. In fact, Qin Feng had already started to forge the imprisonment and had a preliminary model. However, he knew that if he didn't add the feather, the imprisonment would only be an ordinary true weapon. Only with the feather would he be able to make use of the imprisonment's time function. Qin Feng was already sitting cross-legged by the riverbed. Dense spiritual energy rushed into his body, and the creation scripture automatically circulated. However, he didn't plan to cultivate now. Instead, he was setting up a spirit guiding formation. He wanted to guide this huge spirit vein into the astral world. With the experience of stealing the spirit vein in the secret land of the God-fallen island, transporting the spirit vein was much easier this time. However, the size of this underground spirit vein was beyond Qin Feng's imagination. It took a whole week to transport all the spirit veins into the astral world. When the underground spirit vein disappeared, The entire riverbed dried up at a speed visible to the naked eye. The lush flowers and plants on both sides of the riverbank also withered instantly. Qin Feng hurriedly moved the spiritual herbs and fruits above level 5 into the herb garden in the astral world. As for the spiritual herbs below level 4, he didn't have time to care about them. After finishing his business, Qin Feng entered the astral world. After the spirit vein was moved, the underground valley became completely dark. It was like a completely sealed death cage. The astral world now had 2 spirit veins. These 2 spirit veins crisscrossed and ran through the entire astral world. The 2 spirit veins were his personal belongings. If this news were to spread to the northern sand region, everyone's jaws would probably drop to the ground. It should be known that the 5-star sects and families in the northern sand region might not even have a spirit vein that belonged to their own sect. "I'll call you the Purple Cloud Spirit Vein!" Qin Feng was in a good mood. He gave this new spirit vein a name. Because of the addition of the Purple Cloud Spirit Vein, the spiritual herbs in the astral world's herb garden grew even more vigorous. Some of the spiritual herbs even grew a few segments. Some of the spiritual trees had already borne fruits. As for the main ingredient for refining the spirit surge pill, the clear spirit grass, it was spread all over the astral world. It was like a group of weeds. Seeing that the astral world, which was originally a piece of nothingness, had been transformed by him into a herb garden holy land, Qin Feng felt very proud. He also realized that after the addition of the Purple Cloud Spirit Vein, the area of the astral world had increased by a lot. It was more than 50,000 square meters. In such an environment with dense spiritual qi, Qin Feng couldn't help but sit at the intersection of the 2 spirit veins. He even set up a simple spirit gathering array here, causing this place to become the place with the densest spiritual qi in the astral world. In a short 2 hours, Qin Feng felt that his dantian was slightly swollen. He knew that this was a sign of a breakthrough. If other cultivators had signs of a breakthrough, they would definitely be wild with joy. However, Qin Feng was more nervous and worried. Ever since he experienced the 9 changes true thunder thrice, he had a lingering fear of breaking through. That kind of terrifying thunder calamity was simply a life-threatening existence. However, even if Qin Feng wanted to stop cultivating, he couldn't stop the creation scripture in his body due to the dense spiritual qi in the surroundings. Qin Feng didn't dare to be negligent. He immediately started setting up the thunder storage array. He knew that if he were to leave the astral world now, it would be very difficult to wait for the next opportunity to break through. The aura in his dantian swelled, but Qin Feng didn't care. His hands madly formed array seals. He was immersed in setting up the thunder storage array. He didn't care how many thunder storage arrays he created. In short, the more he created, the higher his chances of successfully resisting the 9 changes true thunder. Chapter 1810. Unknowingly, a whole night had passed. Follow? Dream? La Qingfeng's surroundings were filled with lightning storage formations. He had spent the entire night refining this formation, so much so that even now, he didn't realize that he had set up more than 100 lightning storage formations in one night. A muffled sound suddenly exploded in Qin Feng's body, startling him out of his formation. He immediately looked up at the sky above his head. The originally dark and lightless astral world had several rolling black clouds floating over. This was clearly a sign that the 9 changes true thunder had appeared. Qin Feng's expression became more and more serious as he was about to break through. He had seen too many honorables, from the Buddha aura to the true soul and even godly void god. However, he was not afraid of those peak honorables. He was more afraid of the fierce attack of the lightning tribulation. Countless formation flags were casually thrown out, and waves of powerful energy surged around Qin Feng. It turned out that the rank 6 defensive formation that he had used earlier had been reactivated. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief as he looked at the grade 6 defense array and the hundreds of lightning storage arrays around him. He felt more confident about his breakthrough this time. However, just as these chaotic thoughts appeared in his mind, there was a loud crackle in the sky. Several lightning bolts had already fallen to the ground. The lightning tribulation had already fallen. Qin Fan did not directly use the rank 6 defense array to block it. This array was his final trump card. He threw out a few array flags. The 5 thunder-storing arrays hundreds of meters away flickered. The lightning bolts that were about to fall on top of his head instantly changed direction and exploded in the thunder-storing arrays. The first 3 lightning tribulations had already consumed the capacity of 5 thunder-storing arrays. Qin Fan could not help but be amazed. He found that the lightning tribulation caused by his breakthrough to the Buddha aura had become much stronger. The next 6 lightning tribulations fell one after another. In the end, it took 50 thunder-storing arrays to completely subside. This result was beyond Qin Fan's expectations. He thought that 30 thunder-storing arrays would be enough to absorb this lightning tribulation. However, as long as he could successfully break through, the rest was not important. Qin Fan felt that the aura in his body had become purer and stronger. However, it seemed that this was not the end. The surrounding spiritual energy was still surging, actively drilling into his body. The Heart Sutra of creation could not stop and quickly circulated. Very soon, Qin Fan felt his dantian faintly expanding. While he was shocked, he was also pleasantly surprised. Ever since he stepped into the Buddhist light realm, he hadn't had this kind of continuous breakthrough in a long time. What made him even happier was that he still had 50 thunder-storing arrays and a grade 6 defensive array that he hadn't used yet. Qin Fan believed that it wouldn't be a problem for him to break through the 5 changes of Buddha aura now. But after a few hours he became depressed. Although the spiritual energy kept pouring into his body and his dantian felt like it was about to explode, he still couldn't break through. He knew that this was because he lacked the opportunity to break through. For the cultivators of the Divine Supreme Continent, opportunities to break through were hard to come by. The higher the level of cultivation, the harder it was to find an opportunity to break through. Many cultivators at the peak of the Buddha light realm could never step into the true spirit realm, and many true spirit realm experts could never step into the void god realm. After realizing this, Qin Fan knew that he had to borrow external energy to stimulate his body and find an opportunity to break through. The first thing he thought of was the immortal Buddha pill given by the barefoot enlightened being. That was the best pill for late-stage Buddha light realm cultivators to break through. But Qin Fan couldn't treat him like an ordinary cultivator. When he broke through the 3rd changes of Buddha aura, he ate the origin Buddha pill that only mid-stage Buddha light realm cultivators would use. Now that he had stepped into the 4th changes of Buddha aura, he could be considered to have entered the mid-stage Buddha light realm. The pills he needed to break through were at least the pills used by late-stage Buddha light realm cultivators. Qin Fan couldn't help but feel grateful to the barefoot enlightened being. When they parted, this void god realm senior gave him many treasures. Almost all of them came in handy during this expedition to the Violet Cloud Valley. He used the grade 7 Fire Talisman and grade 7 Thunder Talisman to kill Su Pen, and the grade 6 defensive array saved his life. Now, he had to use the Immortal Buddha Pill to break through. The bottle of Immortal Buddha Pills should have been used before, and there were only 6 pills left. Qin Fan could barely be considered a grade 4 pill king now. If he used his full strength, he could also refine the Immortal Buddha Pill. Moreover, he could refine a full batch of 12 pills. Qin Fan opened his mouth and swallowed all 6 Immortal Buddha Pills. If this scene was seen by the cultivators of the Divine Continent, their eyes would definitely pop out of their sockets. Not to mention the cultivators of the Northern Sand Continent, even the cultivators of the South Flat Continent, West Sea Continent, and East Field Continent wouldn't dare to do this. When they broke through to the late-stage Buddha light realm, they would at most eat 2 Immortal Buddha Pills at once, and this kind of eating method was already considered dangerous. However, Qin Fan didn't just eat 6 Immortal Buddha Pills at once, he did it when he was in the 4th changes of Buddha aura realm. This kind of unimaginable thing, he was probably the only person in the entire Divine Continent who dared to do it. But Qin Fan wasn't a lunatic. After eating the 6 Immortal Buddha Pills, he immediately ate the Poison Cleansing Pill, the Bone Cleansing Pill, the Cloud Melting Pill, and a series of other supplementary pills. In fact, this wasn't the first time he tried eating pills like this. Previously, when he broke through from the Saint King realm to the Buddha Light realm, and later when he broke through from the early stage to the mid-stage of the Buddha Light realm, he did the same thing. Not only could Qin Feng kill people who were at a higher stage, but he could also eat pills that were at a higher stage. The 6 immortal Buddha pills melted in his mouth, and immediately, an incomparably violent and rich spiritual energy surged. At this time, from the 2 spiritual veins, there was still a steady stream of spiritual energy flowing into Qin Feng's body. When these spiritual energies collided and fused, they seemed like they were about to condense into tangible spirit stones in Qin Feng's body. Ever since he came to the Divine Continent, this was the first time Qin Feng felt such a rich aura. Even the overflowing spiritual energy was released along with his breathing. Tiny crystals formed on his skin, emitting a pale purple light. This was the sign of the spiritual energy condensing into a tangible form. Bang, bang, bang. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, Qin Feng's body kept on emitting muffled sounds. He felt his dantian was in an extremely inflated state. The pressure was unbearable, as if his whole body would explode if he didn't break through in the next second. Suddenly, Qin Feng felt a little regretful. He felt that he had lost his rationality in his eagerness to break through. He had just broken through from the 3rd changes of Buddha aura to the 4th changes. He should have stopped and stabilized his current realm instead of crazily eating pills to continue breaking through. However, it was too late to say anything now. Fortunately, when he felt that he could no longer bear the pressure in his body, a thunderous roar exploded above his head. A new lightning tribulation had finally appeared. At this moment, Qin Feng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Previously, he was most afraid of the 9 changes true lightning, but at this moment, when he saw the lightning tribulation, he felt a little happy and expectant. Rumble. The first 3 lightning bolts descended violently, not giving anyone the slightest time to prepare. Fortunately, Qin Feng was prepared. He casually threw out dozens of array flags, and the lightning bolts in the sky suddenly changed direction, exploding in the thunder storage array. However, the power of this wave of lightning exceeded Qin Feng's expectations. Just the first 3 lightning tribulations had used up 10 lightning storing arrays. He remembered that when he broke through to the 4th transformation of Buddha's aura, the first 3 lightning tribulations had only filled up 5 lightning storing arrays. Just as a trace of nervousness rose in his heart, the next 3 lightning bolts had already descended. Qin Feng didn't have time to think and threw out array flags again, guiding the crisscrossing lightning bolts in the sky into the thunder storage array. Thunder roared, and the entire astral world was covered in dark clouds, shrouding the scene of doomsday. The first 6 lightning bolts could be considered to have been successfully dealt with, but Qin Feng's mood was not relaxed at all. He discovered that the remaining 50 or so thunder storage arrays had all been used up, and now there was only a level 6 defense array left. However, the killing lightning tribulation would not take his mood into consideration. Just as he was worrying, the last 3 lightning bolts descended at the same time, as if the entire sky was being torn apart, making loud crackling sounds. The originally dark sky was illuminated by bluish-purple lightning bolts, but that light flashed for a moment, like a premonition before death. It was obviously too late to refine a new thunder storage array. Qin Feng immediately circulated his aura, trying to use his body to withstand the last 3 lightning bolts. Each lightning bolt was as thick as a human's waist, and just looking at it made people despair. More than 10 lightning bolts had already exploded above his head, but a layer of flashing white light suddenly appeared in midair. Rumble! The power of the 9 changes lightning tribulation was terrifying, but the first wave of lightning bolts did not break the level 6 defense array. Instead, it caused the array to shake violently a few times, and the surface of the air shield was covered with fine cracks like a spider's web, as if it was going to break at any time. Qin Feng was stunned by this scene. He was surprised by the ferocity of the lightning tribulation, and he was amazed by the power of the level 6 defense array. He was inside the array, and he could not feel the killing intent of the lightning tribulation at all. It was as if he was looking at the storm outside through a layer of glass. Whoosh! Thunder roared again, and the last two waves of lightning landed. The level 6 defense array seemed to have realized the ferocity and terror of this killing lightning tribulation. The array flags that were inserted into the ground shook violently, and the spirit stones on the ground floated in midair. The scene was very shocking. Under the lightning strikes, the level 6 defense array shook violently again. Qin Feng, who was inside, felt as if there was an earthquake. But after a while, the movement stopped. He looked up and saw that the thunderclouds in the sky had dissipated, and the spring wind blew. Everything in the astral world returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. This is the power of the level 6 defense array? It's really too powerful! Qin Feng looked at the array wall covered with cracks, and he was amazed. Under the fierce attack of the lightning tribulation, the array was still running weakly and was not destroyed. He immediately felt the aura in his body, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. His aura had become purer and stronger, which was a sign of stepping into the 5 changes of Buddha aura. After stepping into the 5 changes of Buddha aura from the 3 changes of Buddha aura, Qin Feng did not know how many times his strength had increased. At this time, he was eager to rush out and find a few early-stage true spirit realm cultivators to practice with. He felt that he could kill early-stage true spirit realm cultivators with just his martial arts strength. Whoosh! But when Qin Feng was excited, there was a slight crisp sound in the sky above his head. He glanced at it casually, and his eyes almost fell to the ground. He did not know when, but there were large dark clouds floating over. This was a sign of triggering another lightning tribulation. Chapter 1811. Motherfucker, what's going on? Qin Feng cursed anxiously. Other cultivators couldn't wait to break through, but he felt like he had eaten a fly. Master, stop complaining. Who told you to eat 6 Buddha immortal pills at once? Master, don't think about getting lucky. You really are going to break through the 6 changes of Buddha aura. Little Pig added a stab at the right time. The good mood from breaking through the 5 changes of Buddha aura was instantly gone. Qin Feng also stopped complaining. He knew it was impossible to stop breaking through now unless he wanted to be stuck at the 5 changes of Buddha aura forever. The only thing he could do now was to think of a way to continue facing the tribulation. Although the thought of it made his balls ache, he had to digest the pills he ate even if he had to cry. Swish, swish, swish. For a moment, a light breeze blew in all directions. That was the movement brought about by Qin Feng's rapid formation seals. Fortunately, the lightning tribulation of the 6 changes of Buddha aura didn't descend directly. It seemed to be brewing. This made Qin Feng half happy and half worried. He was happy that he had more time to refine more thunder-storing formations. He was worried that the lightning tribulation of the 6 changes of Buddha aura would be even stronger. Whoosh! Just as Qin Feng was immersed in frantically setting up formations, there was a loud noise. It was as if the sky was being torn apart. Qin Feng woke up with a start. He looked up and saw a blue-purple lightning bolt as thick as a person's waist falling down. The lightning bolt was swift and violent. It arrived above his head in the blink of an eye. Qin Feng hurriedly threw out all the formation flags in his hand and activated the 2 thunder-storing formations he had set up not long ago. However, the thunder-storing formations cracked under the lightning strike. They didn't even have the space to store lightning. Whoosh! The remaining lightning bolt immediately changed direction and exploded above Qin Feng's head. A layer of weak white formation wall appeared in the void and absorbed all the power of the lightning bolt. Motherfucker! This is only the first lightning bolt. How am I going to resist the next 8? Qin Feng looked at the dense spiderweb-like cracks on the formation wall. Despair rose in his heart. He regretted being impatient. It seemed like he would most likely die here today. Just as he was feeling distraught, the 2nd and 3rd lightning bolts fell at the same time. The originally dark sky of the astral world was instantly illuminated. The air was filled with danger. At this point, Qin Feng no longer dared to hold back. He took out all the treasures he had on him. With a casual toss, 5 palm-sized trays flew out. When they landed on the ground, the 5 trays instantly turned into 5 pool-sized teleportation arrays. It turned out that Qin Feng had won 5 level 5 transportation formation discs from Su Qi at the Genius Assembly not long ago. After the event, he took the time to perfect the formation discs. He originally wanted to use them on the transportation points in the River Creek area. Now, in order to save a life, he took them all out. However, he didn't expect that the 5 level 5 teleportation arrays would play a very good role. When the lightning struck the array, Qin Feng immediately sent the energy brought by the explosion out of the astral boundary, and he used this method to successfully deal with the second and third waves of lightning. Little pig, I didn't know that the teleportation formation could be used like this. Why didn't you remind me? Hope reignited in Qin Feng's heart, but Little Pig poured a bucket of cold water on him. Master, don't count on the level 5 teleportation arrays. The first 3 lightning bolts weren't powerful enough to destroy the formation instantly. However, the later lightning bolts will get stronger and stronger. A level 5 teleportation array definitely won't be able to withstand it. In the northern sand continent, a level 5 teleportation array was considered a high-level formation. The number 1 formation master in the northern sand continent was only a level 5 spiritual formation master. However, in front of Qin Feng's lightning bolts, a level 5 teleportation array became so fragile. This made him complain again and again. The lightning bolts he had to deal with were too deceptive. Qin Feng suddenly remembered what the barefoot enlightened being had said to him. The 1,000-year tribulation of the entire divine continent was imminent, and he was one of the people who would face the tribulation once in 1,000 years. This was such an absurd statement, but Qin Feng actually believed it now. Rumble! The rumbling thunder woke Qin Feng up from his messy thoughts. He realized that now was not the time to think about the 1,000-year tribulation. He might not even be able to keep his life. This time, 3 lightning bolts fell at the same time. The aura was obviously more ferocious than before. The moment the lightning bolts fell, Qin Feng immediately activated the teleportation arrays without thinking. However, he heard a series of explosions. All 5 teleportation arrays were destroyed. Whoosh! Fortunately, most of the lightning bolts were transmitted away. However, there were still 3 bluish-purple lightning bolts that fell on top of Qin Feng's head. There was another violent explosion. The level 6 teleportation array, which was already full of cracks, could no longer withstand it. It turned into countless spirit stone fragments, and scattered on the ground. Phew! Qin Feng let out a long sigh. He had avoided the first 6 lightning bolts, but he immediately became nervous. Now that the level 6 teleportation array was destroyed, he could only use his body to withstand the remaining 3 lightning bolts. In fact, the barefoot enlightened being had given Qin Feng 3 level 6 teleportation array discs. One was set up in the Ouyang mansion, one had just been destroyed, and he still had one with him. However, that was a level 6 teleportation array. Even if he had a teleportation array disc, it would take a long time to perfect it. Qin Feng had no time to perfect another level 6 teleportation array. Originally, he wanted to set up a few more thunderstoring arrays in the gaps between the lightning bolts. However, the heavens seemed to have seen through his thoughts, and didn't even give him this opportunity. Crackle! 3 balls of lightning suddenly appeared in the void. They immediately turned into dozens of lightning bolts as thick as a person's waist. Before Qin Feng could react, he was already in the sea of lightning. The lightning bolts struck his body. His white robe was instantly blown into pieces. Even his skin was cracked and emitted a charred smell. Master, are you okay? Little Pig's anxious shout rang out in his mind. Canon, Huangzhong, and the other heroes were also shouting his name. However, Qin Feng's mind was buzzing. His consciousness was quickly fading and the light in his eyes dimmed. Master, don't sleep. You'll die like this. Little Pig was impatient. However, the hunting pincer's eyes lit up and it rushed out excitedly. A black shadow flashed and disappeared. The hunting pincer was already above Qin Fen's head. It opened its mouth wide and the lightning bolts shot into its body. Qin Fen was temporarily safe. He regained his consciousness and looked at the magical scene above his head. His heart was filled with shock. Little pig, what kind of monster is the hunting pincer? Qin Fen couldn't help but sigh. Actually, he knew very well that the hunting pincer was a level 9 star beast. This little guy didn't belong to Earth or the Divine Supreme Continent. It was just that the hunting pincer's devouring ability was too strong. Last time, when he was breaking through the lightning tribulation, this guy jumped out and absorbed the remaining lightning tribulation, saving Qin Fen's life. The hunting pincer was still in its initial state, but the energy it needed was already so terrifying. Qin Fen couldn't help but think that when this level 9 star beast evolved to its peak state, wouldn't it be able to devour the entire northern sand region? Master, the lightning tribulation this time is too fierce. The hunting pincer can't hold on much longer. Chapter 1812. Qin Fen had no time to hesitate, and immediately put the hunting turtle back into the system. Although he knew that he might die from the lightning tribulation, he couldn't just watch as the hunting turtle was struck to death. Following the dream of the hunting turtle. When the hunting turtle entered the system, Qin Fen felt its weak aura. Although it was weak, it proved that the hunting turtle was still alive. Rumble! The lightning above his head struck again, and Qin Fen instantly fell into the sea of lightning. He had always suspected that he was a cultivator with a full spiritual root, so normal lightning strikes had no effect on him. However, the 9 changes true lightning's power instantly made him collapse. A layer of blue light shot out from his body. Under the violent lightning strikes, his Vajra tactics broke through again, upgrading to the 4th level of the Holy Thunder body. However, the layer of blue light on Qin Fen's body disappeared in a flash. Even the Holy Thunder body was only invincible in the Saint King realm. It could barely withstand the fierce attacks of a Buddha Light realm cultivator, but it couldn't withstand a single blow from the Divine Continent's sure-kill lightning tribulation. Qin Fen wasn't in the mood to celebrate his Vajra tactics breaking through again because he didn't know if he could survive this lightning tribulation. When the purplish-blue lightning struck his body, it felt like he was being whipped by countless steel whips, about to crush his body into pieces. Qin Fen felt his consciousness fading away again, but at this time, the creation scripture began to circulate on its own, and the circulation speed became faster and faster. Following that, the aura in his body surged crazily, as if a small vortex had formed inside his body. The lightning source is like the sea of lightning covers the sky, an old voice echoed in Qin Fen's mind. He was sure that it wasn't the system's voice, but when he heard it, Qin Fen's consciousness quickly recovered, and his mind became unusually clear. He raised his head and looked at the sea of lightning, recalling the words that appeared in his mind, as if he had an epiphany. First form of the heavenly lightning tactics, lightning attraction. A white light flashed in Qin Fen's mind, and he suddenly grabbed it. He leaped up instinctively and slashed at the void. The Jinni sword slashed out a blue sword light. The sword light was like lightning, and in an instant, more than 10 lightning bolts shot into the sky. The 2 lightning strikes collided in the void, creating a violent disturbance. However, Qin Fen's lightning strike was still too weak, and it was instantly destroyed by the lightning tribulation. Crackle! Another few bolts of lightning struck Qin Fen's body. His body twitched a few times, and he swung his sword a second time with all his might. The second style of the Thunder Heaven technique, Thunder Change. This time, the sword light turned into a few blue thunderbirds that soared into the sky. It was as if they were going to explode the void. However, when the lightning struck the thunder tribulation, Qin Fen seemed to hear the wails of death. The thunderbirds instantly dissipated. Rumble! Even the lightning tribulation seemed to have sensed Qin Fen's strong will to resist, and the remaining dozen or so lightning bolts fell at the same time. Each lightning bolt was as thick as a human's waist, and wherever they passed, the air exploded. It was as if they were going to destroy heaven and earth. Qin Fen was in the sea of lightning, and when he raised his head, he could see the spectacular scene of lightning crisscrossing. At this moment, death was very close to him, but he didn't feel nervous. His heart was like a pool of stagnant water, and nothing could cause any waves in his heart. The Thunder Heaven spell was a reward given to him by the system after he created the Shadowless Saber. It was an Earth's superior grade thunder cultivation technique with boundless power. However, Qin Feng had only comprehended the first two styles. When the Sea of Lightning was about to fall to the ground, he had an epiphany as if he had just escaped death. Thunder soars like the sea, thunder sea covers the sky. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and he pierced the air with his sword. Thunder Heaven spells third style, myriad lightning greeting. The seemingly simple sword instantly caused the Sea of Lightning to change. The lightning bolt that was about to strike Qin Feng's head suddenly changed direction, and as his sword pierced out, it actually flew back to the sky. When the lightning bolts crisscrossed in the sky, it formed a rare thundersea phenomenon. The lightning floated in the sky and didn't fall because Qin Feng's sword didn't fall. In just an instant, Qin Feng comprehended the Thunder Heaven spell's third style, myriad lightning greeting. He realized the power of this style. Not only did it use his own aura to transform the thunder source, but it could also guide the thunder source in the outside world to attack. Rumble! The Sea of Lightning in the sky started to explode, and a layer of cold sweat appeared on Qin Feng's forehead. After all, he had just comprehended myriad lightning greeting, and his technique and control weren't proficient yet. Now, he was guiding the Sure-Kill Lightning Tribulation. In just a few short seconds, Qin Feng already felt extremely strained. Without any time to think, he slashed down with his sword. Just like when he swung his sword, it was simple and clean, without any fancy moves. The power of this sword was shocking. The Sea of Lightning in the sky actually fell with the sword, but it was guided by Qin Feng out of the astral boundary. Crackle! A loud sound exploded on the riverbed of the purple cloud's spirit vein. However, Qin Feng was in the astral boundary, so he couldn't hear the violent movements. In the astral boundary, the thunderclouds dissipated, and the spring wind blew. Everything returned to normal, as if nothing had happened. However, Qin Feng knew that everything had really happened. The aura in his body became purer and stronger, and a memory of the Thunder Heaven spell cultivation method appeared in his mind. For a moment, Qin Feng was stunned on the spot, and even forgot the joy of breaking through to the 6 changes of Buddha aura. He was thinking back to that sword just now. It was really unbelievable that a sword could guide a sea of lightning. Master, the thunder storage array can't take it anymore. But at this moment, Little Pig's screams sounded in his mind. Qin Feng immediately woke up. There were more than 100 thunder storage arrays in the astral boundary, and if one of them exploded, it would definitely cause a butterfly effect, causing all the arrays to collapse in an instant. More than 100 thunder storage arrays stored a huge amount of thunder source energy, even more violent than the thunder source Qin Feng had just guided away. Qin Feng immediately used the third style of the Thunder Heaven spell. Immediately, the thunder storage arrays on the ground seemed to have been summoned, turning into light and shadow and disappearing. In the short time of one incense stick, Qin Feng had guided away more than half of the thunder source. At this time, he was at the point of exhaustion. Although the myriad thunder-worshipping sword style was powerful, it consumed a lot of inner chi. There were more than 20 thunder storage arrays left in the astral boundary. Even if Qin Feng wanted to move them, he didn't have the strength. Little Pig, if the thunder source explodes in the astral boundary, it won't destroy this place, right? Qin Feng asked worriedly. It won't destroy, but it will destroy the spirit herbs and spirit plants in the herb garden. Master can first store the important spirit herbs, or buy an energy tank and store the thunder source in it. Energy tank? What's that? This was the first time Qin Feng heard Little Pig mention it. Little Pig explained. Energy tanks are universal storage devices that can store any kind of energy. To put it simply, energy star stones are also a type of energy tank, but they can only store astral boundary energy. There are also fire cloud stones used by fire cloud cannons, radium stones used by laser guns. These are all types of energy tanks. Chapter 1813. After listening to Little Pig's explanation, Qin Feng became excited. He knew that Star Saint Technologies products used universal energy sources. In other words, if he bought an energy tank and absorbed the energy of the 9 changes true lightning, he could use it in Star Saint Technologies products. Little Pig could read Qin Feng's mind and said, "Master, you're right. You can use the energy tank that way." Qin Feng became even more excited after hearing Little Pig's confirmation. Every time he broke through, the lightning tribulation would be extremely fierce. If he could use the Star Saint 100-mile light sniper, even a spirit-detecting stage cultivator would find it difficult to defend against it. If he encountered Long Outyen again, Qin Feng wouldn't be the one running away. "You stupid pig, why did you only tell me about such an important item now?" Qin Feng complained. Little Pig pouted and said, "Master, I didn't expect you to store so much lightning. Also, the energy tank is very expensive. Master, take a look at it first." Qin Feng's heart tightened. He immediately looked at the system's inventory. If Little Pig said it was expensive, then it couldn't be cheap. Soon, he found the energy tank, and his eyes widened. There were 3 types of items: large energy tank, medium energy tank, and small energy tank. A small energy tank cost 500,000 hedonist points. Qin Feng quickly understood the difference between large and small. The larger the model, the more energy it could store. Although he really wanted to buy a large energy tank, when he saw that he only had 529,000 hedonist points left in the system, he silently bought a small energy tank. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for spending 500,000 hedonist points to buy a small energy tank. The host has a total of 29,000 hedonist points. System reminder: host Qin Feng has too few hedonist points. Please work hard to earn more hedonist points. Ding! Hedonist Sovereign System Statistics. Host has spent a total of 15,705 million hedonist points. Rank 8 hedonist mortal. Rank 9 hedonist mortal. Host Qin Feng needs to spend another 4,295 million hedonist points to be promoted to rank 9 hedonist mortal. Host Qin Feng will receive rich rewards from the system. The system notification sounded out. This time, it even mentioned the hedonist spending level. Qin Feng had almost forgotten about this because spending 10 million hedonist points would increase his level by 1. To the current Qin Feng, 10 million hedonist points was an astronomical figure. Qin Feng still needed 3 million hedonist points to level up. It was impossible for him to obtain so many hedonist points in such a short time. After buying the energy tank, he only had 29,000 hedonist points left, so he decided to put the matter of leveling up aside for now. With a thought, an energy channel appeared in his hand. It was only as big as a fist and looked like a gray stone. Qin Feng couldn't help but feel a bit worried, and even wondered if he had been scammed by the system. Why would such a stupid stone cost 500,000 hedonist points? How much energy could this thing store? Master, although this is only a small energy tank, its energy capacity is beyond Master's imagination. Try it and you'll know, Little Pig said with a smile. Qin Feng calmed down and threw the energy tank out. The energy tank seemed to have grown eyes and flew towards the lightning storing formation. When the energy tank fell into one of the lightning storing formations, the lightning storing formation underwent a huge change. The lightning source, which had nowhere to go, suddenly surged violently and madly rushed into the energy tank. Seeing this, Qin Feng couldn't help but worry. He was very clear on the power of the sure-kill lightning. Could such a small energy tank really hold so much lightning source? But as he was lost in thought, the small energy tank had already finished absorbing the thunder source from one of the thunder storage arrays. Then, it flew into another thunder storage array on its own initiative. This common-looking little stone actually had an astonishing capacity. In just an hour, it had sucked dry all the thunder sources from the remaining 20-plus thunder storage arrays. When the energy tank flew back into Qin Feng's hand, its originally dim surface emitted a faint bluish-purple light. Qin Feng knew that this was the light of the lightning source. However, the energy tank had absorbed the lightning source from the 20 or so lightning storing formations, yet it only emitted such a weak light. It could be seen that it still had a lot of space left. Qin Feng finally realized the terrifying energy capacity of this small energy tank. It could probably absorb the entire lightning source of the lightning tribulation, right? He was excited. He wanted to install the energy tank on the 100-ray sniper to see how powerful the lightning it could shoot out. With this idea in mind, Qin Feng's thoughts moved slightly, and he returned to the underground riverbed where he found the purple cloud spirit vein. He knew very well how terrifying the lightning tribulation was. Naturally, he wouldn't shoot the sniper in the astral world. Otherwise, it would destroy everything in the astral world. However, Qin Feng regretted his decision as soon as he came out. He had attracted most of the lightning tribulation to the outside not long ago. The riverbed had already exploded and was falling deeper into the ground. Qin Feng was falling along with the rocks and soil. This time, he was falling for a long time. He felt like he was going to fall out of the divine continent. The lightning tribulation that he attracted had not completely disappeared. Some lightning could still be seen exploding. Qin Feng wanted to return to the astral world, but he couldn't bear to let go of the lightning source. In the end, he used the energy tank to absorb the lightning source from the outside as he fell. The collapse of the purple cloud spirit vein had caused a change in the entire purple cloud valley. The cultivators who were exploring the purple cloud valley felt the ground under their feet shaking violently. They looked in the direction of the legendary land of heavenly fire. The weather there had changed dramatically. There seemed to be thunder rolling, but there was no lightning falling. "Senior brother, what happened over there? It should be the lightning tribulation triggered by a high-level cultivator's breakthrough. This lightning tribulation is a bit too terrifying. But I don't see any lightning, senior brother. According to the map, that is the legendary land of heavenly fire. Could it be that someone found a heavenly flame? Did you guys notice that the spiritual energy in the purple cloud valley is starting to thin? It's really thinner. I thought it was my illusion. It turns out that you guys also noticed it. It seems that something has happened in the legendary land of heavenly fire. Let's go and see." For a moment, the cultivators in the purple cloud valley rushed to the legendary land of heavenly fire. Zhang Xiefeng and the other two were there. They were still trapped in a level 6 trapping talisman, facing the devastation of a level 7 fire demonic beast. When the lightning tribulation exploded at the bottom of the mountain, the three of them immediately felt the ground shake violently. The strong movement was like an earthquake. They saw a few mountains not far away suddenly collapse. However, this sudden change saved their lives. When the volcano that hid the purple ghost flame collapsed, the giant winged fire demon couldn't be bothered to continue attacking them, and immediately rushed in the direction of the volcano. Qin Feng, who had caused all these changes, was still unaware. He had been underground the whole time, and had no idea what was happening outside. After falling for a full hour, Qin Feng finally landed. He immediately looked around and found that he was in a gray land. The reason why it was called land was because the ground was covered with a thick layer of dust. When he stepped on it, his entire shoe was submerged in the dust. Although there was light here, the light was very weak. It was shrouded in gray, and Qin Feng didn't know where the light came from. When he raised his head to look at the sky, he saw a gray scene that stretched as far as the eye could see. It was like the smog in Beijing. Dong! Qin Feng seemed to have kicked something. He squatted down and brushed away the dust. He found a human skull and threw it aside in shock. Beside the skull, there was a long sword covered in dust. A supreme-grade true artifact sword. Qin Feng could tell the grade of the long sword at a glance. It was definitely a true artifact. However, when he kicked away the dust around the long sword, he found a true artifact battle armor. No! There are treasures and broken bones everywhere. This should be an ancient battlefield. Qin Feng suddenly understood something. He struck out with his palm and blew away the dust 100 meters in front of him. The scene in front of him instantly stunned him. All kinds of true artifacts and treasures were scattered on the ground, and there were also many eerie white bones. However, when the strong wind blew on the human bones and weapons, they turned into dust and flew away.
What's going on? Could those things be just an illusion?
Qin Feng was confused. The joy in his heart instantly disappeared. Little Pig's voice sounded in his mind.
Master, these aren't illusions. It's just as you guessed, this is very likely an ancient battlefield. Also, the war happened at least 10,000 years ago. 10,000 years?
Qin Feng found it hard to imagine. After all, China only had a history of 5,000 years.
In other words, those human bones are cultivators who died in the war, and the magic treasures all over the ground are the weapons they used. However, because no one has discovered this place for so long, those magic treasures have all dried up.
Little Pig expressed its agreement with Qin Feng's guess. If it was really like what the two of them thought, Qin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. Among the weapons he saw just now, the lowest rank was a supreme-grade true artifact. There were also many high-rank magic treasures that even he couldn't see through. Looking at the dead cultivators again, it had already been 10,000 years, but some of the corpses still had a bit of aura left. Although the aura was very weak, the fact that the aura could still exist for so long showed how terrifying these people were when they were still alive. Qin Feng suddenly felt a bit nervous. He didn't know where he had fallen into, but he knew this was not a place he should be in with his current strength. However, he couldn't see the end of the gray world around him. Even if he wanted to leave, he couldn't find a way.
Fellow cultivator in front, please come over for a moment.
Just as Qin Feng was at a loss, a low voice came from behind him. He used his divine sense to scan and found that after breaking through to the 6 changes of Buddha's aura, his divine sense had become several times stronger. He could scan up to 10 miles away. A kilometer away, there was a team of 6 people. The 6 people were all old, and their auras were steady and strong. 3 of them were early-stage true spirit realm cultivators, but Qin Feng couldn't see through the other 3's realms. Seeing a living person here, Qin Feng didn't know whether he should be happy or depressed. He hesitated for a moment, then flew over. Since he didn't know where the exit was, he might as well go and ask about the situation.
Chapter 1814. Junior Xing Shuai greets the 6 seniors.
Qin Feng humbled himself. This place was really strange, and he didn't want to attract unnecessary trouble. The cultivator who called him over wasn't the one with the highest realm among the 6. He was dressed in a white robe, had white hair and a youthful face, and had a somewhat sage-like demeanor. After looking Qin Feng up and down, the old man's eyes flashed with satisfaction.
Young Hero Jing, I'm Xian Medical Sect's Great Elder, Han Shen. Eh? Why are you looking at me like that?
Han Shen stopped mid-sentence, looked at Qin Feng doubtfully, and found that the other's expression was complicated. Qin Feng really didn't expect to meet someone from Xian Medical Sect here. Before he came to Violet Cloud Valley, he had just poisoned a Xian Medical Sect elder, Han Shen, in Ouyang Mansion. Qin Feng found that this Xian Medical Sect was really a sect with a human face and a beast's heart. The elders inside looked kind and benevolent on the outside, but they were definitely full of evil deeds behind the scenes. Qin Feng checked. This Han Shen had just stepped into the true spirit realm, and Qin Feng had made successive breakthroughs not long ago, and had already stepped into the 6 changes of Buddha aura realm. He believed that he could kill Han Shen with his martial arts strength alone, but when he saw the other 5 people, he immediately dispelled this idea.
Elder Han Shen misunderstood. It's really that Xian Medical Sect has a prominent reputation in the northern Sands continent, and I'm a little surprised.
Qin Feng casually found an excuse. This excuse was very effective. Han Shen revealed a proud look, but saw a gray-robed old man in the crowd coldly snort.
Humph! Don't waste time, it's important to get down to business.
The gray-robed old man was one of the 3 people Qin Feng couldn't see through. When he showed dissatisfaction, Han Shen was so scared that cold sweat broke out on his forehead. He changed the subject and said,
Young Hero Jing, this is Invincible Sect's Elder Wu Liemo, And this is North Sands Continent's #1 demonic sect, Thunder Sect's protector Chong-yu. Han Shen began to introduce, but only introduced the two people, and didn't mention the three old men Qin Feng couldn't see through. Qin Feng was a little depressed for a moment. He didn't expect to meet two enemy sects in this strange place. Not long ago, he killed countless genius disciples of Invincible Sect in public at the genius competition in Binji Market. Fortunately, he was using Jing Shuai's identity, so Han Shen and Wu Liemo obviously didn't see through him. Very soon, Qin Fen's attention was focused on the Thunderbolt Sect's protector, Chong-yu. When he heard the name of the Devil Sect, Qin Fen suddenly fell into a distant memory. He remembered that the Thunderbolt Sect was part of the Devil Sect Alliance when he participated in the Devil Race Convention in China. But one was in China, and the other in the Divine Continent. And the Thunder Sect Chong Lu, the Protector. One sect Clan Sect Protector Sect. A Feng Clan Sect was. He sect. Qin. There. Young hero Jing, since you found this place, you must be looking for Bailing Spirit Mountain. The 6 of us are also going to Bailing Spirit Mountain. Why don't we team up? Qin Fen was indeed going to look for Bailing Spirit Mountain. However, he had never expected that Bailing Spirit Mountain would actually be here. He had fallen down from the legendary Heavenly Fire volcano. He felt as though he was about to fall out of the North Sand Continent. He had no idea how Frost Ginseng and the others had arrived here. Could it be that they had also fallen down? Although he was full of doubts, Qin Feng didn't say it out loud. He had a conflict with Han Shen and the other 2 sects, and he could see that the 6 of them had bad intentions. Elder Han Shen guessed correctly. I am here to look for Bailing Spirit Mountain. May I know who these 3 seniors are? Qin Feng looked at the 3 cultivators whose cultivation levels he couldn't see through. These 3 are from the South Plain. Frost Ginseng subconsciously wanted to introduce himself. After all, it was reasonable to ask about the identity of each member of an unfamiliar team. However, he was interrupted by the gray-robed elder. There's no need to say anything about our identities. Let's continue on our way. Han Shen's eyes flashed with panic. He quickly put on a smile and said, Senior Jiang is right. Let's keep going. Since Han Ginseng didn't mention the identity of the 3 cultivators, Qin Fen didn't want to pursue the matter. Otherwise, it would anger the 3 of them. However, Han Ginseng's words revealed some clues. When Qin Fen heard the word South Plateau Continent, he couldn't help but be shocked. Could it be that the 3 cultivators were from the South Plateau Continent? If they were really cultivators from the South Plain Continent, Qin Feng suddenly became interested in Bailing Spirit Mountain. Originally, he came to look for the white spirit bird. But now, he felt that there must be a lot of treasures on Bailing Spirit Mountain. Otherwise, cultivators from the South Plain Continent wouldn't cross continents to look for treasures. The team set off again. Qin Feng walked in the middle of the group and secretly checked Wu Liemo and Chong-yu's cultivation. Wu Liemo was in the True Spirit Realm 3, and Chong-yu was a demon cultivator. Although Qin Feng couldn't figure out Chong-yu's demon cultivation, he could feel that his aura was similar to Wu Liemo's. As for the 3 cultivators from the South Plain Continent, Qin Feng still couldn't see through them. Being in such a strong team, he had to be vigilant at all times. They didn't stop and didn't talk. After walking for 3 days and 3 nights, Qin Feng realized that these people might have been here before. The environment here was almost exactly the same. The ground was covered in dust, and the sky was gray. Even Qin Feng couldn't tell which direction was north, south, east, and west. But he found that he had actually walked out of that gray land. In front of him was a boundless plain, but there was a snow mountain standing on the plain. It was like a crane among chickens. When they saw the snow mountain, Cold Ginseng and the other 2 immediately cried out in surprise. It really is Bailing Spirit Mountain. So the legends are true. There's a divine bird on Bailing Spirit Mountain. Divine birds don't come out of immortal caves. Wu Liemo seemed to be muttering to himself. Let's go up the mountain quickly. According to our agreement, the treasure belongs to whoever finds it.
Chong Yu couldn't contain his excitement, and flew towards Bailing Spirit Mountain. Cold Ginseng and Woolly Mo immediately followed. Their eyes shone brightly as if they had found a treasure in the desert. When he realized that the snow-white mountain in front of him was Bailing Spirit Mountain, Qin Feng was also extremely excited. But he quickly calmed down, and didn't rush up the mountain with Chong Yu and the other two. He realized that the 3 cultivators from the South Plain continent didn't move. There must be something going on. Rumble! Just as Qin Feng was guessing, a loud sound came from the direction of Bailing Spirit Mountain. Cold Ginseng and Woolly Mo, who had just reached the foot of the mountain, retreated immediately. Chong Yu, who had already reached the waist of the mountain, was sent flying by a white light. The white light caused a huge commotion. Qin Feng could feel the ground under his feet shaking violently. Chong Yu's strength was comparable to an orthodox early-stage true spirit realm cultivator, but he couldn't fight back under the white light. Puff! As soon as he fell to the ground, Chong Yu spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. Obviously, he had suffered internal injuries. Cold Ginseng immediately flew over and took out a few elixirs to feed him. Protector Chong Yu, are you all right? Although he seemed to be concerned, only Cold Ginseng knew that he was fine. He let out a long sigh of relief. He was even glad that Chong Yu had rushed to Bailing Spirit Mountain first. Otherwise, he would have been the one injured and lying on the ground. Woolly Mo also rushed over. He stood coldly at the side and stared at Bailing Spirit Mountain 100 meters away. After another half a minute, Qin Feng and the 3 cultivators from the South Plain continent walked over unhurriedly. The gray-robed elder looked at Qin Feng suspiciously. He then said to the 3 of them, I told you long ago that there's a big formation at the foot of Bailing Spirit Mountain. If you want to enter, you have to break the formation. Cold Ginseng and the other 2 blushed and felt extremely awkward. They had indeed heard the gray-robed elder say this before. It was just that when they saw Bailing Spirit Mountain, they were so excited that they didn't remember about the formation at all. In an instant, the 3 of them calmed down. Cold Ginseng cupped his fists and said to the gray-robed elder, Senior Jiang, please lead everyone to break the formation. The gray-robed elder nodded and looked at the man in a green robe beside him. Hu Sui, it's time for you to show off your skills. The 3 of them were stunned. They quickly realized that Senior Jiang didn't know how to break the formation either. He had found a formation master. The elder called Hu Sui nodded and walked to the foot of Bailing Spirit Mountain. He walked around the foot of the mountain and finally stood at the foot of a mountain. He said, Bailing Spirit Mountain is protected by a grade 6 7 stars formation. If you want to ascend the mountain, you have to break the 7 stars formation first. The 7 stars formation requires 7 cultivators to break it at the same time. Otherwise, it's hard to break it. The 3 of them nodded. They knew nothing about formations. They believed whatever Hu Sui said. Qin Feng was surprised. This Hu Sui could even see through a grade 6 formation. He was obviously a formation master. His knowledge of formations was at least above his own. At the same time, he was sure that the 3 cultivators from the South Flat Continent had been to the Bailing Spirit Mountain before. Not only did they manage to walk out of the Grey Land, they also knew about the 7-star array on the Bailing Spirit Mountain, which was why they brought him along. However, Qin Feng couldn't understand it. If Hu Sui and the rest knew that Bailing Spirit Mountain was protected by the 7 stars formation, they should have found a team of 7 when they entered Zixia Valley's mystic realm. Why would they only find cultivators to join the team after entering Zixia Valley? In an instant, Qin Feng figured out many things. However, there were still many doubts that he couldn't explain. At this moment, Hu Sui had already thrown hundreds of formation flags on the ground. Those formation flags were refined beforehand. It proved that he had been here before. Formation, rise! Buzz! Hu Sui suddenly shouted. The array flag that he had inserted into the ground started to vibrate and let out a sharp whistle. In front of everyone's eyes, a white array wall appeared in front of them. On the array wall, there were 7 air vortexes. As the vortexes flowed, the entire array wall looked like water ripples.
Chapter 18:15. After saying that, Hu Sui flew to a formation eye and arranged for the others to enter the formation. Elder Jiang Fei, stand beside me. Zhang Baishan, attack the formation eye in the west corner. Cold Ginseng and the other two will stand in the south corner. Young Hero, you will go to the north corner. The formation eye has the weakest energy. Attack it with all your might. Soon, the 7 of them were arranged. Qin Fen was pulled to the northernmost formation eye. When everyone stood in front of their respective formation eyes, they realized that they were arranged in the shape of the Big Dipper. Ordinary people would not be able to see the profoundness of the Big Dipper formation, but as a level 4 formation master, Qin Fen soon discovered something fishy. The Big Dipper formation was composed of a level 6 defense formation and a level 6 killing formation. The killing formation was hidden in the formation eye in the north corner. Once the defense formation was broken, the killing formation would be activated. Qin Fen suddenly understood a lot of things. No wonder Cold Ginseng and the others formed a team to find the 7th person in the secret realm to break the formation. It was because the 7th person would definitely die and be used as a sacrifice to break the formation. Is everyone ready? Hu Sui shouted when he saw everyone was in position. The 6 of them obviously knew the profoundness of the Big Dipper formation, but they pretended to know. After looking at each other, they attacked the formation eye without caring about Qin Fen's thoughts. Although Qin Fen discovered the plot of the 6 of them, he could not expose it immediately. Otherwise, he might not even have a chance to escape if he faced the attacks of the 6 of them at the same time. Rumble! Loud noises shook the heavens as the 7 of them unleashed their full strength. The sky was filled with saber lights and sword shadows that overlapped and exploded, creating layers of waves on the 7 stars' great array. While Qin Fen was attacking the array, he was secretly refining array flags. Although he could not arrange a rank 6 great array, nor could he break a rank 6 great array with his own strength, he could change the array. At the very least, he could transfer the killing array eye in front of him to another array eye. Qin Fen's first thought was to transfer the killing formation to Hu Sui's formation eye because he was the one who arranged for him to be in the northernmost position. However, he quickly dispelled this idea. Hu Sui was obviously an expert in formation, and such a small trick would be easily discovered by him. With these considerations, Qin Feng dismissed the idea of transferring the formation to the other 2 South Flat Continent cultivators. Their cultivation levels were hard to fathom, so it was better to be more cautious. After attacking for more than 6 hours, Qin Feng's formation flags were almost done, and his goal was completely set. He would let Frost Ginseng die first. It was this old fellow who had asked him to join the team. Qin Fen knew how powerful a grade 6 defensive array was. He had even used it to escape a sure-kill lightning tribulation. However, under the joint attack of 7 people, the grade 6 defensive array had already cracked. It was clear that the 3 cultivators from the South Plateau continent had very high cultivation bases. The Great 7 Stars array is about to be broken. Everyone, conserve your strength for now. In a while, listen to my command. Then, go all out and break the array in one go. Just as Qin Feng had expected, Hu Sui reminded him when the formation was about to break. His words were obviously meant for Han Shen and the others to hear. He wanted to tell the 5 of them that the killing array was about to be activated and that they should be prepared. Senior Hu, don't worry. We will listen to your command, Frost Ginseng quickly expressed. Everyone knows nothing about formations. Don't be willful, or you will harm everyone. Wu Liemo chimed in, acting as if he was reminding Qin Feng out of goodwill. However, Qin Feng knew that Wu Liemo's words were meant for him to hear. Seeing that the 6 of them were good at acting, Qin Feng decided to play along with them. Seniors, don't worry. I will definitely listen to Senior Hu's command. When the formation is broken, we will rush up Bailing Spirit Mountain. Seniors, please give me 1 or 2 treasures. Hearing Qin Feng's words, the 6 of them were instantly relieved. At the same time, a sneer flashed in their eyes. You are about to die, and you still want to share the treasures. As if realizing that Qin Feng had taken the bait, Hu Sui suddenly shouted. Everyone, attack with all your strength. Break the formation in one go! Rumble! Following his shout, the 6 of them unleashed their full strength. Qin Feng was already standing at the furthest position, but he could still feel 3 extremely powerful auras rolling over. They were naturally the auras of the 3 cultivators from the South Flat Continent. They were definitely in the late-stage true spirit realm. Eh? Young hero Jing, what are you doing? Just as everyone was trying their best to break the formation, Hu Sui glanced in Qin Feng's direction and instantly let out a scream. The other 5 immediately looked over and realized that Qin Feng did not attack the formation core. He casually threw dozens of formation flags onto the ground. Only then did the 6 of them realize that Qin Feng was also a formation master. However, they did not know what he had done to the Big Dipper formation. However, before Qin Feng could reply, a deafening sound came from the formation. Han Shen screamed in pain and fell to the ground, unconscious. What's going on? William O was shocked. The murderous aura around him made him retreat. Chong Yu also wanted to leave, but he was too late. He was hit by the sword chi from the killing formation and fell to the ground, vomiting blood. For a moment, everyone was in a mess. The 3 cultivators from the South Flat Continent also stopped attacking and landed in a safe area a few hundred meters away. Hu Sui, what's going on? Jiang Fei emitted a cold aura and his gray robe fluttered. Hu Sui looked in Qin Feng's direction and shouted through gritted teeth. That brat tricked us all. He secretly changed the formation core and moved the killing formation core to Han Shen. His words made everyone suck in a breath of cold air. Everyone looked in Qin Feng's direction. The 6 of them had agreed to explore Bailing Spirit Mountain and find a scapegoat along the way. They had thought that their plan was flawless, but who would have thought that they would be tricked by a young man in the end? In their eyes, Qin Feng's cultivation level was like that of an ant. Any one of them could easily kill Qin Feng. However, a hint of fear appeared in their eyes. This brat's schemes and shrewdness were truly frightening. Oh no, that brat wants to go in! Hu Sui shouted again. He wanted to stop him, but he realized it was too late. When they were pushed back by the killing formation, Qin Feng actually broke the Big Dipper formation and instantly flew up Bailing Spirit Mountain. Other than Han Shen, who was lying on the ground, no one knew if he was dead or alive. The other 5 immediately rushed up Bailing Spirit Mountain. They were still in awe of Qin Feng's schemes and shrewdness a second ago, but now they were even more shocked. Ta! Jiang Fei was the first to land on the top of the mountain. He climbed the mountain as if he was walking on flat ground. He lived up to his name of the Drifting Jiang clan. However, just as he reached the top of the mountain, Jiang Fei's expression turned cold. That brat tricked us all! The other 4 landed one after another. Looking at the snow-covered mountain range, their hearts fell to the bottom. The Bailing Spirit Mountain in front of them was not the real Bailing Spirit Mountain. Other than the white snow that never melted, there was nothing else. Who is that brat? How can he have such superb scheming skills? Tai Sek's elder Zhang Baishan muttered as he looked at the snow. Hu Sui had just reached the top of the mountain when he immediately flew down. However, after a while, he went up again and said, The Big Dipper formation has been closed. It will be another 5 years before it reopens again. That guy called Jing Shui is too despicable. He made us wait for 5 years for nothing. It turned out that 5 years ago, the 6 of them came to Violet Cloud Valley to explore and found this Bailing Spirit Mountain together. At that time, Hu Sui realized that the Big Dipper formation needed 7 people to break it, and one of them would definitely die. At that time, the Big Dipper formation had already been broken by others and entered Bailing Spirit Mountain. Furthermore, the formation would automatically repair itself for 5 years, so the 6 of them agreed to come back in 5 years. Who would have thought that the current situation would turn out like this? Cultivation has no time, but 5 years is not a short time. Furthermore, who knows how many treasures that Jing Brat will take away after entering Bailing Spirit Mountain? When we come back next time, how many things will there be in there? Jiang Fei complained. Zhang Baishan suddenly shouted. Brother Hu Sui,
is there a specific exit for this bailing spirit mountain? The few of them immediately understood what Zhang Baishan meant and looked at Hu Sui. Hu Sui shook his head at first, but soon nodded in surprise. The exit is not specific, but I can change the formation and designate a location for the exit. When that Qin comes out, we will immediately take him down. Qin Feng had charged into the entrance of the formation against the might of the killing array. Fortunately, he had survived in the end, but his body was covered in blood and he had suffered some internal injuries. He landed in a valley, surrounded by white snow, and there was a heavy snowflake floating above his head. The temperature here was at least 50 degrees below zero. He came in wearing only a thin robe, and his body was shivering from the cold. This is the real Bailing Spirit Mountain? Qin Feng swallowed a few healing pills and walked around the snowy mountain. Looking at the lifeless and boundless snow, he began to have doubts. According to Cold Ginseng and the others, there seemed to be many treasures hidden in the Bailing Spirit Mountain. At that time, Mo had even mentioned, "There is a divine bird on the Bailing Spirit Mountain, and there is no immortal cave for the divine bird." However, after walking for a long time, Qin Feng did not even see a wild rabbit, let alone a divine bird. The temperature in the Bailing Spirit Mountain was too low. Ordinary cultivators would probably freeze to death if they stayed here for a few days. Qin Feng activated the spirit sunflower flame and immediately felt his body warm up. In this extremely cold place, he couldn't help but think of the 1,000-year-old ice soul he had subdued in the Snow Beast Canyon of the Extreme Ice City in the Divine Continent. Now, he had named it Suffocation. "Master, this Bailing Spirit Mountain is too big. You can't keep searching like this. Why don't you release the hunting turtles?" Little Pig's voice sounded. Qin Feng immediately looked at the system. He was not in a hurry to ask the hunting turtles to help him find the immortal cave, but after the last breakthrough, the hunting turtles had been unconscious, and he did not know how it was now. With a slight thought, a black shadow flew out. The hunting turtles had already regained its vitality, and its movement speed had increased again, like a bolt of lightning cutting through the void. When it landed on Qin Feng's shoe, Qin Feng jumped in fright. This little guy's skin had turned from jet black to a dazzling gold. The originally dazzling gold color was quite nice, but Liu's body was like a small earthworm. Coupled with the dazzling gold color, it simply looked like a crawling golden maggot. Chapter 1816. Ao. The hunting turtle seemed to be able to read Qin Feng's expression and suddenly bit his shoe. Although it was through the shoe, it was still incomparably painful. Qin Feng didn't know where this small fellow got its strength from. Before Qin Feng could get angry, the hunting turtle had already turned into a black shadow and flew away. Ever since this little fellow absorbed the energy of the thunder tribulation, its speed became even faster. Qin Feng cursed as he chased. After flying for an unknown amount of time, the hunting turtle stopped in a snowy valley. In front of it was a cave entrance. The hunting turtle vigilantly stared at the cave entrance, but it didn't go in. "Master, the hunting turtle said that there is an ancient aura in this cave. It is a bit nervous." Little Pig's voice sounded. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. He had personally seen the hunting turtle's devouring ability. This little guy could even devour Buddha's light and true spirit realm cultivators, and it even devoured the thunder tribulation twice. He originally thought the hunting turtle had a fearless temperament, but he didn't think that there would be something that could make it nervous. Qin Feng's expression quickly became serious. Since there was a fellow that could make the hunting turtle feel fear, then it must be an extremely terrifying existence. He couldn't help but think of the white spirit divine bird. Could it be that the cave in front of him was the immortal cave that Mo spoke of, and the thing that made the hunting turtle afraid was the white spirit divine bird that guarded the immortal cave? However, this guess was quickly denied by Qin Feng. He used his divine sense to sweep the cave and discovered that it was very deep. He could only sweep a range of 100 meters. The deeper parts seemed to be blocked by something, and he couldn't even sweep his divine sense in. However, Qin Feng was sure that there was no beast race aura in the cave. This meant that the white spirit divine bird was not in the cave. Qin Feng was even a bit worried that the white spirit divine bird could only be a legend. If that was true, then he wouldn't be able to refine the white spirit pill and imprisonment. With a slight thought, Qin Feng put the hunting turtle back into the system. He casually slapped out 2 spirit sunflower flames and walked into the cave. The originally dark cave was illuminated by the flames. After walking a dozen steps, Qin Feng saw several corpses lying on the ground. They should be the cultivators that came to this cave to search for treasures. Although he couldn't see through these cultivators' realms when they were alive, Qin Feng became even more vigilant. This cave was definitely filled with danger. Xiao xiao xiao. Just as he was on guard, he stepped on some kind of mechanism under his feet, and several arrows shot out from the rock wall. They were so fast that even though he tried his best to dodge, his arm was still hit by an arrow. In just a few seconds, the wound had already turned black and festered, releasing a foul stench. Qin Feng knew that the arrow had been smeared with poison, and the corpses he had seen before were most likely killed by the poison. However, this poison had no effect on Qin Feng. He immediately bought a bottle of all-purpose antidote from the system. After drinking it, his injuries were alleviated. However, because of this, Qin Feng became even more cautious. He realized that this cave was man-made, and there were many hidden weapons installed inside. It was very likely that this was a place where a cultivator went into seclusion, and that cultivator's realm was definitely not low. Qin Feng didn't continue forward. Instead, he released the hunting pincer. When the hunting pincer's figure shuttled through the cave, it triggered many mechanisms. For a moment, the cave was filled with the glint of knives and the shadow of swords, and even a few strange flames flew out. However, the hunting pincer's speed was too fast. Before the mechanisms fell, it had already flown deeper into the cave. After the time it took for a few incense sticks to burn, the cave returned to tranquility. Qin Feng discovered that his sense of the hunting pincer had become very weak. Under these circumstances, either the hunting pincer was seriously injured and about to die, or it was too far away from him. Qin Feng was more inclined to the second guess. With the hunting pincer's current speed, even Qin Feng found it difficult to catch its trajectory. To say that this little guy could die in the cave was a bit too difficult. However, Qin Feng was puzzled. Just how deep was this cave? Even his sense of the hunting pincer had become faintly discernible. Qin Feng hurriedly rushed into the cave. Because the hunting pincer had triggered most of the mechanisms, Qin Feng didn't encounter any danger along the way. His speed also increased quite a bit. After walking for a whole hour, he finally saw the hunting pincer. This little guy was currently huddled under a stone wall. Its body would approach the stone wall, but the instant it approached, it would immediately retreat. It actually repeated this strange behavior. "Lil Pig, what's wrong with this little guy?" Qin Feng looked at the hunting pincer's shiny golden body twisting and turning. The scene was so beautiful that he couldn't bear to look straight at it. Lil Pig said, "Master, the hunting pincer said that there's an ancient aura hidden behind that stone wall. It's very scared and very excited." Qin Feng realized that the hunting pincer had discovered the aura when it entered the cave. Something that could make the hunting pincer feel fear definitely wasn't simple. Qin Feng immediately examined his surroundings. This was a small cave that was over 20 square meters. There were a few balls of flames floating on the walls. The flames felt very familiar to Qin Feng. They should be a type of strange fire. However, because the flames had existed for too long, their color and aura had changed. Qin Feng couldn't immediately recognize what kind of strange fire they were. To be able to use strange fires to illuminate the cave, it could be seen that the owner of this cave wasn't an ordinary person. Qin Feng walked around the cave, but didn't find anything of value. An incredibly old voice suddenly sounded. "Young hero, come here!" Qin Feng jumped in fright. He had already checked this cave and there wasn't a second person. This sudden voice made him feel like he'd seen a ghost. The hunting pincer's reaction was even greater than Qin Feng's. It was preparing to approach the stone wall, but it was so frightened by this sudden voice that it stood on the ground like a golden maggot that stood up. Qin Feng couldn't stand it anymore. With a slight thought, he recalled the hunting pincer back into the system. He vigilantly walked to the side of the stone wall, and discovered that there was a formation set up on the wall. However, this formation was too strange. Qin Feng couldn't understand it at all. Not only could he not see through the level of the formation, he couldn't even see through its use. "Who are you? If you have the ability, then come out. Don't hide behind the wall and play tricks." Qin Feng could tell that the voice came from the stone wall. He pretended to be calm and shouted at the stone wall. "This old man also wants to go out, but unfortunately, I'm trapped by this stone wall ceiling formation. Young hero, can you help this old man out? Why are you trapped inside the stone wall? Can't you get out by yourself?" Qin Feng wasn't stupid enough to listen to the other person's words. No wonder he couldn't see through the formation on the stone wall. It was actually a large ceiling formation. A ceiling formation could only be set up by a rank 5 spirit formation master. Moreover, most large ceiling formations were rank 7 or 8. These words seemed a bit idiotic. The old man in the stone wall yelled unhappily. "Nonsense! If this old man could get out, I wouldn't need your help. You only need to turn the lion head on the right side of the stone wall 90 degrees clockwise, then turn the lion head on the left 90 degrees counterclockwise. I can get out by myself." Qin Feng was very dissatisfied with the old man's attitude. Moreover, he realized that this old man was an existence that even the hunting pincer was afraid of. Qin Feng couldn't let such a terrifying guy out. Who knew if this old guy would kill him or not? "Hey! What are you, a junior, still blindly wandering around? Hurry and do as I say. Young hero, are your ears not working well? Why aren't you talking?" Since he decided not to let the old monster out of the stone wall, Qin Feng simply pretended that he didn't exist. He continued to wander around the stone cave. However, the stone cave was only so big. He had turned every place he could find inside out, but he didn't find a single treasure. During this time, he even found more than a dozen hidden mechanisms. A small cave that was less than 30 square meters actually had so many hidden dangers. Qin Feng wouldn't believe it even if he was beaten to death to say that there weren't any valuable things hidden inside. Just when he was at a loss, an item suddenly flew out of the stone wall. Pa! It was a colorful banner that fell to the ground. It emitted an ancient aura. Qin Feng immediately took the banner in his hand. Although he didn't know what it was, he could tell that it was a true weapon-level magic treasure. Just as he was pleasantly surprised, a crisp sound came from beneath his feet. This time, a jade bottle was thrown out from the stone wall. There were also a few fiery red lotus flowers, a few stalks of spiritual herbs, and a few strange materials. Qin Feng was immediately attracted by the 3 fiery red lotus pods. These were 3 fire spirit lotuses. This was the first time he had seen such a level 7 spiritual herb in real life. In the past, he had only seen pictures of them. As a type of level 7 spiritual herb, the fire spirit lotus was extremely rare. In the past, Qin Feng even doubted that such a spiritual herb existed in the northern sand continent. Now, the fire spirit lotus had appeared before his eyes. The fire spirit lotus could be used as a medicinal ingredient for many kinds of elixirs. However, it was mainly used to refine the spirit lotus pill. The spirit lotus pill was one of the rare elixirs in the northern sand continent that could dispel elixir toxins. Back then, Long Qianjun had given Qin Feng a bottle of rejuvenating elixir that could also dispel elixir toxins. However, very few cultivators knew that the fire spirit lotus had another more important use. Qin Feng only found out after reading the records. This level 7 spiritual herb could nurture heaven and earth unusual fire and help it level up. Without hesitation, Qin Feng kept the 3 fire spirit lotuses in his astral world. His gaze was attracted by the 3 bunches of spiritual herbs under his feet. He was shocked once again. Level 5 spiritual herb, 100 pasture grass? I didn't expect the northern sand continent to have this kind of spiritual herb. Qin Feng seemed to be talking to himself. With a slight thought, the 3 bunches of 100 pasture grass were taken away. He knew the use of the 100 pasture grass very well. It was a level 5 spiritual herb and was one of the main medicinal ingredients to refine the spiritual fragrance pill. The spiritual fragrance pill was a medicinal pill that could repair one's soul consciousness. This kind of medicinal pill might not even exist in the entire northern sand continent, or even the divine mainland. During the Pill Store Conference, the Treasure Pill Tower took out a bottle of rejuvenating spirit pills to shock the crowd. That rejuvenating spirit pill was only a medicinal pill that could repair one's soul consciousness, but it caused an uproar among the crowd. Qin Feng couldn't help but think that after he collected all the medicinal ingredients for the spiritual fragrance pill and successfully refined it, the entire northern sand continent would be shocked. Speaking of the spiritual fragrance pill, Qin Feng couldn't help but think of Fei City's Castellan Fei Bai Song and Grand Elder Fei Shan. Both of their soul consciousness were injured by him using the Genie sword. He even promised to refine the spiritual fragrance pill to heal them. Chapter 1817. After putting away the 100 pasture grass, Qin Feng saw a few strange materials at his feet. Dream follower. La colorful feather, a hard rhinoceros horn, and a very tough rubber band. Qin Feng could not recognize any of these 3 materials. He only had the medicinal pills encyclopedia, which allowed him to recognize all kinds of spiritual herbs and spiritual plants. However, he did not know much about these materials. However, since they could be thrown out with a true equipment and 2 high-grade spiritual herbs, they were clearly not trash. Qin Feng stored the 3 materials in his astral world first and studied them when he had the time. There was still one last jade bottle left under his feet. As soon as he opened the bottle, a rich medicinal fragrance immediately filled the entire cave. This was definitely the bottle with the richest spiritual energy among all the pills Qin Feng had ever seen. The rich spiritual energy was even richer than the void-breaking pill and void transformation pill that Taoist Barefoot had given him. The void-breaking pill was a rank 5 rank 7 king pill that could help cultivators break through to the void god realm. The void transformation pill was even more powerful. It was a rank 6 rank 7 king pill and was the best pill for early-stage void god realm cultivators to break through. From the looks of it, the pill in the jade bottle in his hand was definitely more powerful than the void transformation pill. Even Qin Feng couldn't recognize the pill in the bottle. He immediately kept the jade bottle in his star world. When the jade bottle was successfully kept, his palm was still trembling slightly. "Young man, how about those things? If you are willing to help me out, I can give you even more treasures." The aged voice rang out again, jolting Qin Feng out of his joy. If it was a normal cultivator, faced with the temptation of so many pills, true equipment, and spiritual herbs, he would have lost his mind and released the person in the stone wall. However, Qin Feng quickly calmed down. The more heaven-defying the items he obtained, the more wary he was of the old man in the stone wall. This person had casually thrown out a true equipment, a rank 7 fire spirit lotus, and even a bottle of pills of an unknown grade. It was clear how terrifying the old man was. They are indeed treasures. However, I am still lacking some fragrant flowers. Does Senior have them? Qin Feng had never thought of letting the person in the stone wall out. However, since he had met him, he decided to trick him. "Young man, fragrant flowers are nothing. I have plenty of them on me. As long as you let me out, I will immediately give you 10 fragrant flowers." The old man's tone was incomparably arrogant. Qin Feng was excited. The reason why he mentioned the fragrance flower was because of the 100 pasture grass that the old man had thrown out earlier. This was because the 100 pasture grass and the fragrance flower were the 2 main ingredients to refine the fragrance pill. Now, Qin Feng only lacked the fragrance flower to refine the fragrance pill. "Throw 3 flowers out for me to see first. After all, we just met, so I can't completely trust you," Qin Feng said. The old man was silent for a while. Suddenly, a white light flashed on the stone wall and 3 thin branches that looked like pear blossoms were thrown out. They were undoubtedly the rank 7 spirit plant, fragrant fragrance flower. Qin Feng hurriedly stored the fragrant fragrance flower in his astral world. He felt some regret in his heart. This old man was too rich. If he had known earlier, he would have asked for 5 flowers. Young man, you've obtained the fragrant flower. Can you let me out now? The old man once again brought up the matter at hand. Qin Feng looked at the treasures he had obtained and was very satisfied in his heart. He began to wander around the stone cave again, thinking that the treasures that the old man had in the stone wall couldn't have all been obtained from this cave, right? However, after walking around a few times, Qin Feng didn't find anything. A voice came from inside the stone wall. The old man was a little angry. Stinking brat, you took my treasures, but you didn't do anything for me. You, a junior, have no integrity at all. After being scolded, Qin Feng felt a little unhappy and retorted. Don't think that I don't know that the things you gave me were also found in this cave. This is the White Spirit Mountain's immortal cave, there are countless treasures inside. You're still young, but you know quite a lot. Since that's the case, let's open the skylight. I'm in a secret room, which should be the cultivation room of the immortal cave's master. There are countless treasures inside, and the things I just gave you were all found in here. Now, as long as you let me out, I don't want anything in this secret room. You can have it. The old man's words were generous and selfless, but Qin Feng wouldn't easily believe him. Ever since he came to the Divine Continent, Qin Feng had seen too many sinister people. This was a place where the strong ruled. Especially in front of treasures, no one would care about the word righteousness. However, Qin Feng's previous words were just to trick the old man. He didn't think that he would actually get some important information. It seemed like this cave was the immortal cave that Wu Liemo mentioned. However, all the treasures were inside the formation wall, so Qin Feng thought that he wouldn't be able to get them. Young hero, why aren't you saying anything? You don't trust me? The old man was a little anxious. He had been trapped inside the formation wall for 100 years, and in these 100 years, he had met countless cultivators who entered the immortal cave. More than half of them died outside the cave, and they didn't even have the strength to enter. Cultivators like Qin Feng who could find this place were few and far between. In the end, all of them were extremely cunning, and they weren't that easy to trick. Young hero, there are a lot of treasures in this secret room. Come in and take a look. Realizing that Qin Feng wasn't going to let him out, the old man's voice sounded a little anxious. He shouted for a long time, and Qin Feng was annoyed. Although he was very tempted by the treasures in the secret room, he knew that once the seal was opened, it would be the end of him. Old man, thank you for your treasures. There are no more treasures in this cave. Let's meet again if fate wills it. Qin Feng turned and ran like a thief who had just stolen something. The old man cursed loudly. Qin Feng couldn't see his face, but he thought that the old man was probably vomiting blood. You son of a bitch, how dare you lie to me? Do you know my name? If I tell you, you'll be scared shitless. Fuck! You son of a bitch, you're really running away? Get your ass back here! Young hero, don't go. Let's talk. Hey! You can take a look at this secret manual before you make your decision. Bang! Qin Feng rushed to the cave entrance, and saw an ancient cowhide scroll flying out from the stone wall. He stopped abruptly, and his heart almost jumped out of his throat. Although he was more than 10 meters away and hadn't even seen the contents of the secret manual, he could guess what kind of secret manual it was. The material of the secret manual was exactly the same as the creation chapter. When the secret manual was in his hand, it felt exactly the same as the creation chapter. When he flipped open the scroll, Qin Feng was so excited that he wanted to roar 3 times. This was undoubtedly a new chapter of the creation of heaven and earth skill. Speaking of the creation of heaven and earth skill, it was rumored that it was a supreme cultivation technique written by the Divine Continent's strongest expert, the great Tao divinity. This secret manual was not from the hedonist sovereign system, but it was rated as a supreme cultivation technique by the system. The creation of heaven and earth art had a total of 5 chapters. The first chapter was the creation chapter, which Qin Fen had found in the Fuqing Five-Element Mountains Blessed Heaven Cave. Currently, he was holding the second chapter, the creation chapter. Looking at the creation chapter in his hand, Qin Feng couldn't help but think of the lightning tribulation he triggered. He heard that the great Tao divinity was also one of the cultivators who triggered the 9 great lightning tribulations. It was said that the great Tao divinity senior had stepped into the peak true God realm and disappeared. This meant that he didn't die under the lightning tribulation. At least the lightning tribulation of the Buddha light realm didn't kill him. Qin Feng suddenly saw hope. He realized that the reason he triggered the 9 changes true thunder was probably because he cultivated the creation of heaven and earth skill. If the great Tao divinity senior could successfully avoid the tribulation, he believed that he could also reach the senior's level. However, he quickly became depressed. The great Tao divinity must have had 5 creation skill manuals to cultivate at the same time, and he had just found the second one. He didn't know if this half-baked cultivation method could help him survive the lightning tribulation. Just as his mind was full of messy thoughts, the old man's voice came from the stone wall. "How is it, young hero? Are you shocked by this secret manual? No one would have thought that the divine continent would have such a perfect cultivation technique secret manual. I even suspect that this is one of the chapters of the creation of heaven and earth skill created by the strongest great Tao divinity on the divine continent. As long as young hero is willing to let me out, I'll give you the remaining chapters." Qin Feng's body trembled. Did the old man in the stone wall have the remaining 3 secret manuals? However, he quickly calmed down because according to the creation chapter's records, this secret manual was only the original one. The great Tao divinity did not make more copies of the secret manual, but passed it down in the form of a fated person. Therefore, the old man only had the last 4 secret manuals at most. It was impossible for him to get the creation chapter. "Are you sure you have the complete secret manual? You gave me the second one. Let me see the first one." Qin Feng beat him at his own game. The old man said, "Of course I have the first secret manual. The reason why I gave you the second one was that I was afraid you wouldn't keep your promise. As long as you let me out, I'll give you the first and the rest of the secret manuals. How about it?" Qin Fen laughed coldly in his heart. He was sure that this old man was lying. He was indeed a sinister and cunning old man. If Qin Fen hadn't already obtained the creation chapter, he would have been deeply attracted by this shocking secret manual, and would have desperately wanted to obtain the first chapter to cultivate. In that case, Qin Feng would definitely listen to the old man and eventually let him out. That would be the time of Qin Feng's death. Suddenly, Qin Feng felt that the old man in the stone wall was a little pitiful. He just had to meet Qin Feng, who saw through his lie with one glance. At the same time, Qin Feng knew that the creation chapter was also a peerless treasure to the old man. The reason why he dared to take it out was because he was confident that Qin Feng could help him open the seal on the stone wall. All of this was a big mistake from the beginning, but the old man was still unaware of it. He said confidently, "Young hero, don't hesitate. The secret manual that you have might be the most powerful cultivation technique in the entire divine continent. Let me out and I'll give you the remaining chapters." Chapter 1818. Young hero? Say something? Young hero, aren't your ears working? Why is there no sound at all? Eh? Young hero, are you still there? Fuck! You bastard who gave birth to a son without an anus. You dare to trick me? Do you know who I am? My name is enough to scare you to death. Hurry up and return the art of creation to me. Otherwise, when I get out, I will kill you even if I have to chase you to the ends of the earth. The cave was filled with the old man's angry roars, but Qin Fen could no longer hear them. He had already left the cave with the art of creation. Qin Fen originally came to Bailing Spirit Mountain to search for the white spirit divine bird. He would never have thought that he would inexplicably obtain a few level 7 spiritual herbs, a bottle of elixirs of an unknown level, and many strange materials. What made him most excited was that he actually obtained the second part of the creation of heaven and earth skill. Just the creation part alone was worth more than all the treasures to Qianfen. Along the way out of the cave, Qianfen sat at the entrance of the cave and took out the art of creation to study. This skill was the continuation of the creation part. Ever since he started cultivating the creation part, Qianfen's comprehension ability had skyrocketed. Now, it could no longer be described as terrifying. Not long ago, when he was withstanding the lightning tribulation, he could instantly comprehend the third form of the heavenly thunder technique, myriad lightning greeting. After cultivating the creation part, his spiritual root would be cleansed, and his comprehension ability would reach a new height. He could then create a new skill that belonged to him. Qianfen had already started cultivating the creation part. When he completed a minor reversal, he felt that his originally empty dantian was gradually filling up. Moreover, he had just broken through to the 6 changes of Buddha aura not long ago. This kind of heaven-defying cultivation shocked Qianfen. Qianfen even had a premonition that if he continued to cultivate like this on White Spirit Mountain, he would be able to usher in the opportunity to break through to the 7 changes of Buddha aura in less than half a month. However, he dispelled this idea in the end. Firstly, the consecutive lightning tribulations not long ago had left him with some lingering fear. Secondly, this place was really not safe. If a few more powerful cultivators like Frost Ginseng appeared, he was afraid that he would most likely die. After putting away the cultivation method, Qianfen began to study the strange materials. However, after looking at them for a long time, he still couldn't figure out what they were. He then took out the colorful flag. This was the first time he had seen this thing. According to Little Pig, it should be an attack-type true weapon. However, after fiddling with it for a long time, Qianfen still couldn't find a way to activate it. Putting away his messy thoughts, Qianfen took out the 100 pasture grass and the fragrant fragrance flower. He had finally gathered all the medicinal ingredients needed to concoct the fragrant fragrance pill, and he planned to try it out on Bailing Spirit Mountain. The fragrant fragrance pill was a type of rank 1 rank 7 king pill. For a rank 4 rank 7 pill king like Qianfen, concocting it wasn't difficult at all. Although it was his first time concocting it, it was a piece of cake for him. Moreover, he managed to produce a full batch of 12 fragrant fragrance pills in one go. Among them, there were even 3 supreme grade pills. Qianfen immediately swallowed the 3 supreme grade fragrant fragrance pills. Although the main effect of the fragrant fragrance pill was to repair the sea of consciousness, if a cultivator's sea of consciousness was not damaged, it would also have the effect of expanding and nourishing the sea of consciousness. The 3 fragrant fragrance pills melted in his mouth. A rich pill fragrance and spiritual qi rippled in Qianfeng's body. This spiritual qi eventually gathered in his mind, but it wasn't as violent as the spiritual qi of other pills. The medicinal effect of the fragrant fragrance pill was as gentle as water. Qianfen felt as if a beautiful woman was massaging his head. After an hour, he discovered that his divine sense could already scan a wider range. The medicinal effect of this pill is too strong. If it were to appear in the northern sand continent, I'm afraid it would be even more shocking than the spirit surge pill. After personally tasting the fragrant fragrance pill, Qianfen found it hard to calm down. After reaching the true spirit stage, cultivators competed more on the strength of their divine sense. Although he was currently in the Buddha's aura 6 changes realm, his divine sense had already reached the height of an ordinary true spirit stage middle stage cultivator. Roar roar! Just as Qianfen was immersed in the joy of successfully concocting the fragrant fragrance pill, a few angry roars came from afar. Those sounds should have come from a very far place, but it sounded as if they were right next to Qianfeng's ears. There were 2 kinds of roars, both of which were the angry roars of the beast race. Qianfen could tell that the 2 beasts were from the high-level beast race. He didn't want to get involved, but he instinctively scanned the area with his divine sense. Then, he immediately stepped on his flying sword and rushed over. Roar roar! The closer he got to the battle, the more shocking the roars became. Qianfen could feel the air shaking as he flew in the air. Finally, he stopped behind a snowy hill a few hundred meters away from the battlefield. As soon as his feet touched the ground, he felt as if there was an earthquake. In front of him were two gigantic beasts fighting. One was standing on the snowy ground, its body was 5 to 6 meters tall, and its entire body was covered in green fur. It looked like a snow beast, and the other was completely snow-white, a gigantic bird. Qin Feng had come precisely because of this spirit bird, and he suspected that this was the white spirit divine bird that he had been painstakingly searching for. "Master! That snow-white spiritual bird is indeed the white spirit divine bird. As for that green-furred beast, it should be the green-skinned snow devil." Little Pig suddenly spoke with a trembling voice. "Master, you really hit the jackpot. Right now, this white spirit divine bird has evolved to its peak. It has become a level 8 spiritual beast, and its combat strength is comparable to an empty god." Qin Feng rolled his eyes. Level 8 spiritual beast? The unicorn sea beast he encountered in the Fallen God's Sea was only a level 7 spiritual beast. Not long ago, he encountered the giant winged fire demon in the legendary Heavenly Fire Land. It was also a level 7 spiritual beast. However, this wasn't the most important thing. The white spirit divine bird was at a disadvantage and seemed to be unable to defeat its opponent. It could be seen that the green-skinned snow devil was at least a level 8 spiritual beast. For a moment, Qin Feng felt hopeless about obtaining the white spirit divine bird's inner core. Also, plucking a feather from its body was a fantasy. This was a level 8 spiritual bird. Plucking a feather from its body was scarier than plucking a tiger's fur. "Master, don't be discouraged. If you encounter the white spirit divine bird alone, you can only run for your life. However, if you encounter the white spirit divine bird and the green-skinned snow devil fighting, Master will have some hope," Little Pig said. Qin Feng suddenly calmed down. He also realized that this was a great opportunity. He just needed to sit back and reap the benefits of the battle between the two level 8 spiritual beasts. With this plan in mind, Qin Feng completely concealed his aura. After all, these were two level 8 spiritual beasts. If he wasn't careful, he could expose his existence. The battle had reached its final stage. The white spirit divine bird was severely injured. Its snow-white feathers were stained with blood. From time to time, it would open its beak to howl and spit out blood. The green-skinned snow devil wasn't much better off. Its green fur was also stained with blood. The two colors mixed together looked a bit frightening. Seeing that the time was ripe, Qin Feng immediately took out the 100-mile light sniper. He replaced the energy star stone with an energy slot that stored thunder source energy. A few days ago, when he collected the thunder calamity energy, he couldn't wait to test out the power of the new 100-mile light sniper. Now, he finally had the chance to show it off. Whoosh! Without hesitation, he fired the shot. Suddenly, the weather changed dramatically. A huge black cloud condensed in the sky. The sound of thunder seemed to tear a hole in the sky. Several waist-thick bolts of lightning exploded in the battlefield. Rumble! The aftermath of the explosion was ferocious. That part of the world was blasted into ruins, and dust swirled up, obstructing one's vision. Qin Feng heard a miserable howl coming from the mouth of the green-skinned snow demon, and the white spirit divine bird had already soared into the sky, escaping the violent might of the spear. Roar, roar! With one shot, Qin Feng's target was exposed. The green-skinned snow devil rushed in his direction and roared a few times. Its lantern-like eyes were bloodshot. Just a few roars had shaken the small snow hill in front of Qin Feng to the ground. Like an avalanche, Qin Feng was instantly buried in the snow. He felt the ground shake violently. He guessed that the green-skinned snow devil was rushing over. This spiritual beast was too fast. When Qin Feng drilled his body out of the snow, he saw a scene of dark clouds covering the sun. It was the green-skinned snow devil's huge body falling from the sky. Rumble! A loud sound exploded next to Qin Feng's ear. It almost cracked his eardrums. Luckily, he stepped on his flying sword and left in time. However, he was still hit by the aftershock and swayed in the air. A huge hole appeared in the snow where he was. Snowflakes flew everywhere. It was a beautiful and terrifying scene. Roar, roar! After its attack missed, the green-skinned snow devil clawed in the air again. 5 claw marks appeared in the air. The air was torn apart, and there was a piercing sound of wind breaking. Qin Feng had already flown hundreds of meters away. However, in the blink of an eye, he felt an immense force in his chest. It almost crushed his body. Qin Feng fell heavily to the ground, creating a hole in the snow. He opened his mouth and spat out a large pool of blood, dyeing the snow-white ground red. The green-skinned snow demon's simple swipe had almost taken his life. Moreover, he knew that this spirit beast was already heavily injured, so its explosive power was greatly reduced. Qin Feng didn't even dare to imagine how terrifying the green-skinned snow demon's swipe would be if it were at its peak. At the same time, Qin Feng realized how much he had grown. This was the first time he had fought after breaking through to the 6 changes of Buddhist light. Whether it was his speed or his body's defense, they had greatly increased. Or rather, if Qin Feng was still in the 3 changes of Buddhist light a few days ago, he would have been killed by the green-skinned snow devil's claw. Roar, roar! Seeing that Qin Feng could still breathe, the green-skinned snow devil was very unhappy. It beat its chest and let out a few wild roars. The sound waves contained a powerful aura, and a few small snow hills nearby collapsed, forming a strange scene of an avalanche. Qin Feng wasn't in the mood to appreciate the scenery in the distance. He wasn't here for a vacation. Before he could adjust the aura in his body, a huge black shadow appeared above his head again. Before the black shadow landed, a violent aura pressed down on him, making it hard for him to breathe. His body seemed to be bound, and he didn't even have the chance to escape. Roar! Chapter 18-19. The white spirit divine bird was flying at full speed when it slammed into the snow demon. When the 2 beasts came into contact, it brought with it an earth-shattering force. The snow demon was sent flying hundreds of meters away. When it landed, it created a huge crater. The white spirit divine bird landed not far from it. It was obvious that it was heavily injured from the collision. It lay motionless in the snow, and no one knew if it was dead or alive. Qin Feng was also sent flying by the shockwave, but compared to the 2 spirit beasts, the damage he suffered was pitifully low. He immediately swallowed a few healing pills, stepped on his flying sword, and flew into the air. Looking at the white spirit divine bird lying lifelessly in a snow pit, Qin Feng's emotions became complicated. Just now, this white spirit divine bird had saved his life. Otherwise, who knew if he would have been stomped to death by the green-skinned snow demon? Roar, roar! That green-skinned snow demon's skin was tough. After lying in the snow for a short while, it actually stood up unsteadily. It had been angered by the white spirit divine bird's attack, so it ignored Qin Feng's existence and walked towards the white spirit divine bird. Clearly, it wanted to kill it first. Rumble! However, before it could reach the snow pit, a sea of lightning exploded in the sky. Qin Feng finally found a chance to breathe. Without hesitation, he fired 3 shots. The 9 changes true lightning carried with it a destructive force. It exploded around the snow demon. When Qin Feng saw the lightning attack the enemy, he felt an indescribable sense of joy. That snow demon was already exhausted. Even under such a ferocious sea of lightning, he was still able to hold on for half an incense stick of time. However, he eventually collapsed. The moment his body touched the snowy ground, Qin Feng felt an earthquake. Rumble! Large snowflakes flew up and scattered in the wind. The snow demon lay quietly in the snow pit. Its body was still emitting white smoke. This time, it didn't get up. It looked like it was completely dead. Qin Feng didn't have the mood to check on the snow demon. He didn't shoot it again. After all, the lightning energy in the energy tank was limited. Every time he shot, Qin Feng's heart bled. He leapt into the snow pit where the white spirit divine bird was. As soon as he landed, Qin Feng relaxed. Although the spirit divine bird was severely injured, it still had a weak breath, which proved that it was still alive. Actually, if the white spirit divine bird died, it would be a good thing for Qin Feng. He only needed to take the white spirit divine bird's inner core and pluck a few feathers from its body before he could leave this place. However, when the spirit divine bird saved his life just now, Qin Feng had developed feelings for it. At the end of the day, Qin Feng was a beast king and had tamed many spiritual beasts. He had feelings for the beast clan. Of course, he did not include the beast clan that wanted to kill him, like the green-skinned snow devil. Ayo ayo! The white spirit divine bird seemed to have sensed Qin Feng's arrival, and it let out a low cry. It seemed to want to stand up, but it was to no avail. Master! White spirit divine bird said, "Why did you help it?" Little Pig suddenly asked. Qin Feng froze. "I didn't help it." Little Pig curled its lips and said, "Master, you really got lucky. You clearly came to kill the white spirit divine bird for its spiritual core, but in the end, the white spirit divine bird mistakenly thought you came to help it fight the green-skinned snow devil." After understanding the situation, Qin Feng also felt depressed. This big mistake was really too coincidental. Then what should I do now? After calming down, Qin Feng felt troubled. The white spirit divine bird was already heavily injured. Qin Feng could completely kill it now, but he couldn't do it. However, he heard Little Pig talking to the white spirit divine bird, and it was unclear what they were talking about. After a while, the two beasts seemed to have finished talking. Little Pig said with an expression as if it was receiving a reward, "Master, the matter is settled. How do you plan to reward Little Pig?" "I already told White Spirit Divine Bird why Master came. It said that its spiritual core was damaged in the battle, so it plans to refine a new spiritual core. As for its feathers, Master can just take a few. Just don't pluck it until it's bald. First, it doesn't look good, and second, it's too cold here." After hearing Little Pig's words, Qin Feng rolled his eyes. He didn't think that beasts also cared about appearance. This white spirit divine bird must be a female. The white spirit divine bird couldn't read Qin Feng's mind. Otherwise, if it knew that he was guessing its gender, it would definitely be depressed to death. Since both sides had reached an agreement, Qin Feng didn't argue any further. He plucked 2 feathers from the white spirit divine bird's body. The feathers were as white as snow and sparkled with a translucent light. When he held the feathers in his hand, Qin Feng's state of mind seemed to reach another level. All his worries disappeared, and his heart was like still water. Even time seemed to stop. Could this be the time effect of the white spirit divine bird's feathers? Qin Feng muttered to himself. He seemed to understand the use of the white spirit divine feather, but he felt like he was looking at flowers through a fog. However, no matter what, Qin Feng knew that the white spirit divine feather was a level 8 material. This kind of high-level material was an extremely rare existence. It was even more valuable than a bottle of void-breaking pills. When Qin Feng put away the feathers, Wu Qiming had already rushed over. Shaoli was so scared that he lost his head. He even had the thought of dying here with Qin Feng. Rumble! As soon as he arrived, he had already sent out a few palm strikes. A few black fog hurricanes blew in the soul-nurturing palace and filled the huge altar. For a moment, strange cries sounded. It was the miserable wails of millions of spirits. These spirits were trapped in the violent black fog hurricanes, and some of them were directly destroyed by the hurricanes. However, Wu Qiming's casual palm strikes had already proved his powerful strength. Qin Feng was extremely nervous. He realized that he wasn't Wu Qiming's opponent. Moreover, he was in the witchcraft sect, so it was even harder to defeat him. "Master, look! Those spirits are flying towards us!" The situation was urgent, so Shaoli suddenly shouted. Qin Feng raised his eyebrows. He had already discovered that countless black fog was attacking them from all directions. This scene frightened Qin Feng. There were simply too many spirits flying towards them. Under the attacks of these spirits, his and Shaoli's souls would be devoured in an instant. If he had a choice, he would rather fight Wu Qiming head-on than provoke these spirits. At the same time, Qin Feng was a little puzzled. He had used the heavenly fire to shock these spirits. Why did they start to counterattack? However, before Qin Feng could figure it out, hundreds of spirits had already shot into his body. He hurriedly used the spirit sunflower flame to counterattack. In an instant, a large number of spirits were burned. His ears were filled with heart-wrenching screams. "Master, these spirits don't seem to be attacking us," Shaoli said with uncertainty. Qin Feng also felt that something was wrong. The spirits that were flying towards them did not have any threatening aura. Instead, they let out a pleading wail. However, Qin Feng did not dare to let down his guard. The spirit sunflower flame danced on his hands. He stopped attacking and those spirits crazily jumped into his body. Walala! Chapter 1820. Fortune of Heaven and Earth Art? The aura of the white spirit divine bird's previous master? Qin Feng was shocked. If the white spirit divine bird wanted to recognize him as its master because he cultivated the fortune of heaven and earth art, then who was the previous master of this grade 8 spirit divine bird? Qin Feng knew very well that the fortune of heaven and earth art was created by a great Tao hierarch with his entire life. It was known as the number 1 cultivation method in the entire divine continent, and there was only one copy of this cultivation method. Could the previous master of the white spirit divine bird be a great Tao hierarch? Master! It might not be what you think. After all, before you obtained the fortune of heaven and earth art, no one knows if anyone else found this cultivation method. The great Tao hierarch is now only a legend, and no one knows when he disappeared. It could be a few hundred years ago, 1,000 years ago, or even 10,000 years ago. Little Pig's analysis was very thorough, but Qin Feng still had a doubt. Because there was only one copy of the fortune of heaven and earth art, then why did the last cultivator who obtained this peerless secret cultivation method pass it down? At that time, the great Tao ultimate God had become the strongest person on the divine continent. Qin Feng could understand that he was generous and selfless enough to pass on his knowledge. However, most people would keep the secret manuals for themselves. Why would they selflessly learn from the great Tao ultimate God? At least, Qin Feng wouldn't do that now. He just wanted to hide the secret of the fortune of heaven and earth art forever. Just like the old man who was trapped in the White Spirit Mountain cave, Qin Feng believed that he wouldn't pass down the fortune of heaven and earth art either. The White Spirit Divine Bird was still jumping around Qin Feng, as if it wouldn't stop unless Qin Feng agreed to take it in. The White Spirit Divine Bird was covered in wounds, and when it jumped, its wounds ruptured. Fresh blood stained the snow, but it didn't stop. Qin Feng's heart ached. He couldn't wait to subdue this grade 8 spirit beast. Now that the White Spirit Divine Bird brought it up, he agreed without thinking. When Little Pig conveyed the message to the White Spirit Divine Bird, the grade 8 spirit beast was as excited as a child. Qin Feng originally wanted to say goodbye to the White Spirit Divine Bird and leave, but since he had taken it in, he planned to heal its wounds before leaving. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for successfully subduing the grade 8 spirit beast White Spirit Divine Bird. The system rewards host Qin Feng 100,000 hedonist points and 1 true weapon lottery ticket. Host points, 129,000. The system notification sounded. This was the quest to subdue the 10 great dire beasts that had been issued a long time ago. After receiving the reward for the taming the 10 great fierce beasts quest, Qin Feng wondered why there was no reward for the collecting supreme cultivation methods and martial skills quest. After all, he had just collected the creation chapter not too long ago, and when he collected the creation chapter, the system rewarded him with 1 million hedonist points and the astral world. After listening to Little Pig's explanation, Qin Feng understood that the creation chapter and the creation chapter were both part of the creation of heaven and earth art. They weren't separate rewards. In the blink of an eye, a month passed. Qin Feng had been cultivating on the White Spirit Mountain for the past month. At the same time, he had been helping the white spirit divine bird recover its spirit core. With the help of the various pills he had concocted, the white spirit divine bird had formed a new spirit core that was much stronger than the previous one. Qin Feng had also successfully broken through to the 7 changes of Buddha's aura. When he broke through, he had eaten 2 supreme spiritual pills. These pills were needed for a cultivator at the peak of the 9 changes of Buddha's aura to break through to the true spirit stage. Qin Feng had only broken through to the advanced stage of the Buddha's aura, but he had to eat these pills to help him. The lightning tribulation during his breakthrough was much stronger and more ferocious than before. At that time, even the white spirit divine bird was shocked. However, the lightning tribulation this time was much easier to deal with. Qin Feng had concocted hundreds of lightning storage arrays in advance. When the lightning was full, he stored the lightning source in the energy slot. What surprised Qin Feng was that the energy slot was still not full after collecting all the lightning tribulation of the 7 changes of Buddha's aura. It was obvious that the energy slot's capacity was shocking. Qin Feng had bought the smallest energy slot in the system. Apart from breaking through and helping the white spirit divine bird form a new spiritual pill, Qin Feng had done many things in the past month. He had concocted many pills and almost used up all the medicinal ingredients he had collected. However, he didn't concoct the white spirit pill because it was a rank 5 rank 7 imperial pill. With Qin Feng's current alchemy skills, he couldn't concoct it. He had also completed the imprisonment array and received a reward of 1 million hedonist points from the system's limited edition interface. At the same time, he was also awarded a hidden realm lottery ticket. Qin Feng calculated that he had won 129 million hedonist points. He only needed to spend another 3 million hedonist points to become a rank 9 hedonist mortal. In other words, he would have to earn another 2 million hedonist points to level up. Qin Feng valued the hedonist rank very much. Every time he leveled up, the rewards were very powerful. The Star Technology Realm and the Immortal Island Realm were rewards that were unlocked after he leveled up. It snowed all year round on the White Spirit Mountain, creating a beautiful scene of snowy mountains. Even if one wasn't in the real White Spirit Mountain, one could still see the snowy scenery. The temperature in this area was around -40 to -50 degrees Celsius all year round. Even a Buddha's light stage cultivator would freeze to death if he didn't have a protective artifact. Wu Liemo and the others waited outside the White Spirit Mountain for a whole month. Fortunately, they were all true spirit stage cultivators, so they didn't freeze to death in a foreign land. However, it didn't feel good to sit cross-legged in the snow every day and cultivate at -50 degrees Celsius. Junior Marshal Brother Hu Sui, is your formation working? That brat didn't escape from somewhere else, did he? Jiang Fei from the South Pingzhou's drifting Jiang clan complained. Even with his calm and determined mentality, he couldn't take it anymore. Wu Liemo and Chong Yu couldn't take it anymore either. However, because the 3 South Pingzhou seniors didn't say anything, they didn't dare to say anything. As for the Xian medical sect's great elder Han Jinsing, he was killed by the 7-star formation's killing formation a month ago. Seniors, this place is lacking in spiritual qi and the temperature is extremely low. There aren't even any spiritual plants or beasts around. Why don't we go back? Wu Liemo suggested carefully. Chong Yu immediately agreed. Even if that brat Jing really escaped, he only escaped from the White Spirit Mountain. Seniors, don't worry. Our Thunder sect is the #1 demon sect in the North Sand region. We have many disciples. We will definitely find that brat Jing. Also, Brother Wu Liemo's Invincible sect is the #1 sect in the North Sand region. I believe they will also try their best to catch Xing Shuai. Wu Liemo nodded quickly. The two of them looked at the 3 South Pingzhou seniors pitifully. Jiang Fei and Tai Sec's great elder Zhang Baishan sighed. It seemed like they were starting to waver. However, Hu Sui's tone was unusually firm. As a level 5 spiritual array master, how can I make such a small mistake? Since I said that brat Jing will appear here, he will definitely appear. Seeing that Hu Sui was so determined, the few of them didn't say anything else. However, they weren't spiritual array masters and knew nothing about spiritual arrays. They didn't understand why Hu Sui was so confident. Over the past month, Hu Sui had said something like this a few times. At first, he was able to bring some comfort to everyone. However, as time passed, even Jiang Fei and Zhang Baishan didn't believe him. Junior brother Hu Sui, I have no doubts about your spiritual array skills. However, none of us have been to the White Spirit Mountain. Who knows what's going on inside? Maybe there really are other exit spiritual arrays. Jing Shui might have escaped through those spiritual arrays. Jiang Fei voiced out his thoughts. Hu Sui's body trembled. A look of realization appeared on his face. What senior brother Jiang said is highly possible. It's all my fault. I was only thinking about the teleportation array in front of me. I didn't think about anything else. It seems like we've waited for nothing for more than a month. As soon as he said that, Wu Liemo and Chong Yu looked at him fiercely. If not for the fact that they knew they weren't Hu Sui's match, the two of them would have cut him into pieces. Because of this guy's carelessness, everyone had been frozen in this world of ice and snow for a month. Sigh. Since that's the case, let's part ways here. Zhang Baishan sighed and was about to fly away. He was afraid that if he stayed for another second, he wouldn't be able to control himself and attack Hu Sui. Jiang Fei was also frustrated. He looked at Chong Yu and Wu Liemo and said, Then we'll do as you said. Send people to look for Jing Shui. If you find him, inform us immediately. If you don't, you know the consequences. As the great elder of the North Sand Region's number 1 sect, the Invincible sect, and the great protector of the number 1 demon sect, the Lightning sect, Wu Liemo and Chong Yu had high statuses in the North Sand region. Usually, they could do whatever they wanted and order others to do things. Who would have thought that they would be threatened today? Yet, the two of them didn't complain at all. In fact, they even felt nervous. Senior Jiang, don't worry. How would I dare to hide the truth from you? If we really manage to catch Jing Shui, I will inform you immediately. Wu Liemo said immediately. Chong Yu said the same thing. Everyone looked at the White Spirit Mountain behind them. They shook their heads and sighed. Just as they were about to leave, they heard a muffled sound. Eh? What's that white light? Jiang Fei was confused. Hu Sui exclaimed. The teleportation array I set up has been activated. Someone is coming out from it. It must be that Jing Shui. The 5 people who were about to leave stopped in their tracks. Their bodies emitted a strong aura. Thinking about how they had to suffer in the cold and wait for Qin Feng for more than a month, they wanted to cut him into 1,000 pieces. Under the gaze of the 5 of them, a white light appeared in the air below the White Spirit Mountain. The white light spread from a star to the size of a wall of light, and Qin Feng flew out of the light formation with a giant bird in tow. Ayo! As soon as they landed, the White Spirit God bird let out a high-pitched cry. It was unknown whether it was because it was reluctant to leave the White Spirit Mountain or because it felt the killing intent. No matter what its motive was, this cry brought with it a strong aura. Half of the snow mountain behind them collapsed. Jiang Fei and the others felt as if there was an earthquake under their feet. Chapter 1821. That spiritual bird is not simple. Everyone be careful. Jiang Fei leaped and landed on a small snow hill 100 meters away. He looked at the white spiritual bird from Qin Feng. Mo Willie exclaimed, There's a spiritual bird on White Spiritual Mountain. A spiritual bird that comes out of the cave. That's the White Spiritual Bird. His exclamation made everyone excited. The other 4 recognized the White Spiritual Bird too. What Mo Willie said was just a legend. Even Jiang Fei and the others did not know if the legend was true. However, after seeing the White Spiritual Bird, they realized that the legend was true. Since the White Spiritual Bird existed, there must be a cave. Qin Feng must have been to the cave, and might have obtained the treasures in the cave. Ha ha! I told you that grandson would definitely come out from the teleportation formation that I set up. I never lie. Hu Sui shouted excitedly after he came back to his senses. Although Jiang Fei and the others didn't say anything to him, he knew that Jiang Fei and the others were unhappy with him. Now that Qin Feng really came out, and it was very likely that he came out with the treasures in the divine cavern, Hu Sui regained his dignity. Jiang Fei and the others rolled their eyes. They knew that Qin Feng's appearance was just their luck. It had nothing to do with the teleportation formation that Hu Sui had set up. However, they would not fight among themselves over such a small matter when their enemy was right in front of them. Their so-called enemy was not Qin Feng, but the white spiritual bird that was standing next to him. It's rumored that the spirit bird guarding the White Spirit Mountain's immortal cave is an 8th-grade spirit beast. It has long developed intelligence and can understand what we're saying, Mo Wuli suddenly said. The other 4 looked serious. They were only true spirit-level cultivators. It would be a lie if they were not worried about a level 8 spiritual beast that was as powerful as an empty god-level cultivator. However, they could not understand. Wasn't this level 8 spiritual bird the guard that guarded the cave? How could it let Qin Feng enter the cave? How did Qin Feng manage to bring this level 8 spirit bird out? White spiritual bird, we mean you no harm. We just have some conflicts with the young man next to you. Please leave this place. Jiang Fei was the first to speak. As he spoke, a powerful aura erupted from his body, showing his cultivation at the 7th true spirit realm. The other 4 seemed to have formed a tacit understanding and released their auras at the same time. Invincible Sex Wuli Mo had stepped into True Spirit Realm 3, Thunder Cult's Protector Chong Yu had stepped into Demon Venerable Level 2, South Flat States Tai Sex Great Elder Zhang Baishan was a True Spirit Realm 6 expert, and Rank 5 Spiritual Array Master Hu Sui had also stepped into True Spirit Realm 6. Such a powerful lineup would definitely shock anyone in the Northern Sand region. Even major forces like the Soaring Dragon Chamber of Commerce and the Hall of Fame generals would not let their guard down. However, Jiang Fei and the other 4 were extremely nervous. They were really afraid that the White Spirit Divine Bird would not leave, and if that was the case, an intense battle would definitely break out. As soon as he came out, he saw Jiang Fei and the others. Qin Feng was elated. When he heard that the 5 of them had tried to scare away the White Spirit God Bird, he laughed out loud. You 5 bastards, not only did you want to frame me, you even dared to stay here and rob my belongings. Do you really think I'm useless? Halfway through his sentence, Qin Feng seemed to have discovered something. He paused for a moment before continuing. Heh! Where's old thief Cold Ginseng of the Xian medical sect? Could it be that he was killed by the hidden killing array of the 7 Stars Array? This is really something to be happy about. The 5 of them did not have a deep friendship with Cold Ginseng. The 6 of them had only temporarily gathered together for a common goal. However, Qin Feng's arrogant attitude made the 5 of them very unhappy. From their point of view, if the White Spirit Divine Bird was not here, any one of them would be able to kill Qin Feng with a single palm strike. Little grandson, don't be too arrogant. Immediately hand over all the treasures on you, and we can spare your little life. Hu Sui shouted. Qin Feng sneered. Let alone the fact that the White Spirit Divine Bird was here, even if he did not subdue this level 8 Spirit Divine Bird, he would not be afraid of the 5 people in front of him. Now that he had stepped into the 7 changes of Buddha aura, he was confident that he could fight against cultivators in the early stage of the True Spirit Realm, and even kill them. Even if he could not defeat Zhang Baishan and the other 2 old fellows in the late stage of the True Spirit Realm, he could just use the Earth Escape Talisman to escape. He would not be threatened by them. It's still broad daylight and you guys are already dreaming. The treasures on me are my personal belongings. Why should I hand them over to you? Qin Feng's seemingly idiotic question stumped Jiang Fei and the others. Just as Qin Feng had said, his treasures were his personal belongings. What reason did others have to take them? However, this was the Divine Supreme Continent, a place where only the strong were respected. There was no such thing as personal belongings. When one's strength was not enough, one's belongings could fall into someone else's storage ring at any time. William Mo had been frozen in the snow for more than a month. His patience had long run out. He shouted coldly at Qin Feng. Surname Jing, aren't you just relying on the white spirit divine bird to intimidate others? Don't be too happy just yet. The white spirit divine bird might not be a match for us if we joined forces. He wasn't boasting. After all, there were 3 other venerables from the South Flat continent in the group. Even if the 5 of them combined their cultivation bases, they would still be far from being as powerful as the white spirit divine bird. However, to be able to reach their current positions, which one of them didn't have many Dharma treasures and true weapons on them? There's no need for my little white to deal with an ant like you. I can kill you myself. Qin Feng's words were too shocking. How could he be so arrogant? He was in the Buddha light realm, but he did not put true spirit realm cultivators in his eyes. Also, did he just call the white spirit divine bird little white? What was going on? Humph. Who doesn't know how to brag? Since you think you're so powerful, do you dare to fight me one-on-one? William Mo shouted. Qin Feng had been waiting for him to say this. He had broken through from the 3 changes of Buddhist light to the 7 changes of Buddhist light, but he had yet to find a true opponent to fight. Although he had fought with the green-skinned snow devil a month ago, that opponent was too strong, and he had been completely oppressed. William Mo's current situation was exactly what Qin Feng wanted. He estimated that with his current strength, he could only fight an early-stage true spirit realm cultivator. Even if he encountered a true spirit realm cultivator, he could only run. All right. Let's fight one-on-one. Life and death will be decided by fate. No one else is allowed to interfere. How about that? Qin Feng immediately agreed. William Mo and the others were stunned and looked at Qin Feng in surprise. If they had not been tricked by this brat once, they would have thought that there was something wrong with Qin Feng's intelligence. However, the 5 of them knew very well that this guy was very shrewd and intelligent. He even tricked the 6 of them into going around in circles. In the end, he changed the formation to kill Frost Ginseng and flew into White Spirit Mountain alone. For a moment, William Mo became listless and did not dare to reply to Qin Feng. He felt that something was wrong. Jiang Fei had already recovered and said to William Mo anxiously, "Don't just stand there. Since the one surnamed Zheng wants to fight with you, you should accept it." The others also came to their senses. As long as that level 8 spirit bird does not interfere, dealing with a late-stage Buddha Light Realm Junior is a piece of cake. Hu Sui's words were extremely arrogant. Brother Wu, quickly agree. It's also because that grandson did not dare to challenge me. Otherwise, I would have personally killed him. Chong Yu said aggressively. Under everyone's encouragement, the trace of apprehension in William Mo's heart instantly disappeared. He even laughed at himself. A mere 7 transformations Buddha light actually made him feel fear. If this matter were to spread, how would he be able to survive in the northern sand continent in the future? Seniors, you've misunderstood. I was just thinking about how to kill that grandson. Now that I've thought about it, I'll just cut off his limbs. William Mo hurriedly found an excuse for himself. The 4 of them did not say much. They did not care about William Mo's fear. They only cared about the treasures on Qin Feng's body. William Mo took a step forward and unknowingly took out a golden dragon's slaughtering saber and placed it on his shoulder. He coldly looked at Qin Feng, who was standing tens of meters away. "Little grandson, you're courting death. Grandpa will fulfill your wish." Boom! He casually swung his blade, but it caused the air in front of him to explode. It was as if before the blade even landed, Qin Feng could already feel death enveloping him. A true spirit stage ranker's attack was not only a powerful aura, there were also a few divine sense attacks surrounding Qin Feng, attempting to break through his sea of consciousness's defense. However, William Mo's plan was flawless, but just as it started, he realized that his plan had been broken by Qin Feng. He looked into the distance in disbelief, where there was a several 100-meter-long snow pit, but he could not see Qin Feng's figure. Or rather, there was a flash of golden light, and Qin Feng had already flown to who knows where. The atmosphere suddenly froze, and the temperature seemed to have dropped by tens of degrees. Not only was William Mo stunned, even Jiang Fei and the others found it hard to explain what had happened. They had all felt the few divine sense attacks that William Mo had released. Those were the divine sense of a true spirit stage ranker. How could a Buddha light cultivator block them? Logically speaking, under the sweep of that divine sense, Qin Feng's sea of consciousness should have instantly collapsed, and he would be like a puppet waiting to be slaughtered. However, a loud explosion suddenly sounded out in the air, and Qin Feng's counterattack had already landed. Rumble, rumble, rumble. A golden light pierced through the sky. Qin Feng was also using a gold-grade long blade. This blade strike was very sudden, and its aura was not any weaker than William Mo's previous attack. Only when the blade glow flashed above his head did William Mo suddenly wake up. He hurriedly raised the dragon's slaughtering saber to block, but when the blade glow collided, he was pushed back by a wild aura. Pun pun pun! Every time William Mo took a step back, a small hole would appear under his feet, and there were continuous sounds of explosions coming from his body. When he finally stabilized his body after 10 steps back, the spirit armor he was wearing had shattered and fallen to the ground, turning into a pile of scrap metal. The two's first clash had ended in a split second, but in this simple clash, William O and the others' eyes almost popped out of their sockets. Qin Feng's strength had surpassed their imaginations. He was clearly a junior at the Buddha Light 7 transformation, but he could dodge the divine sense attack of a true spirit stage ranker. Moreover, with a counterattack, he had forced William O into a disadvantage. Chapter 1822. How is this possible? How did you do it? William Mo's arrogance disappeared as he stared at Qin Feng in disbelief. Not only him, but the other 4 people also stared at Qin Feng. They wanted to get a satisfactory answer from him. What do you mean, how did I do it? You're asking me how I defeated you? You can't even understand such a simple question? Of course it's because you're too weak. You can't even withstand a single blow. Qin Feng purposely provoked him. He knew that in a battle between experts, one's mentality was extremely important. William Mo's face turned red. Obviously, he was holding back his anger. When he thought about how he was forced back by a late-stage Buddha light cultivator, he felt as if an invisible hand was slapping his face. William Mo's body suddenly surged with endless killing intent. In his eyes, Qin Feng had to die today. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the face to stay in the North Sand region anymore. Humph! Don't think you can be arrogant just because you have a magic treasure that can block divine sense. There's no need to use divine sense against an ant like you. Even if I use my true yuan, I can still kill you. Once a cultivator stepped into the true spirit realm, their inner chi would turn into true yuan. True yuan was many times stronger than the inner chi in the dantian. This was why a true spirit realm cultivator could instantly kill a Buddha light cultivator. With a roar, William O attacked again. His words just now reminded Jiang Fei and the others. The 4 of them revealed a look of realization and let out a long sigh of relief. It seemed like William O was right. Qin Feng definitely had a magic treasure that could block divine sense. Rumble! A loud explosion sounded again. William O really gave up on his divine sense attack. He casually swung his saber, and the air in front of him split open. A golden saber light quickly spread out, reaching hundreds of meters away in the blink of an eye. His saber missed. Qin Feng had already dodged on his flying sword. Ever since he stepped into the Buddha Light 7 changes, his speed was astonishing. William O was extremely depressed after missing twice in a row. The person in front of him was just a Buddha light cultivator. In the past, he could kill a Buddha light cultivator with one saber strike. But just as he was feeling angry, a gust of wind came from behind him. Qin Feng stood in the sky and swung his golden phoenix. The golden light was like a rainbow falling to the ground, creating sparks above William Mo's head. When William Mo came back to his senses, he was already in the center of the explosion. He immediately tried to block with his saber, but just as he raised his arm, his body was sent flying by the violent airflow. Rumble! When he landed on the ground, he created a huge crater. The eyes of Jiangfei and the other three fell to the ground. They almost made a move, but when they saw the white spirit divine bird staring at them warily, the four of them could only give up on the idea. Even Qin Fan himself was shocked. This was the first time he fought with a cultivator after breaking through to the 7 transformations of Buddha aura. He realized that his current strength was much stronger than he had imagined. It was also because of his surprise that he missed the best opportunity to kill Wuli Mo. A loud sound came from the ground as Wuli Mo leaped out. A ferocious aura surged from his body and his eyes were bloodshot. A true spirit realm cultivator was beaten up by a Buddha light realm cultivator. This was probably the first time something like this had happened in the northern sand continent. Even if a Saint King realm cultivator killed a Buddha light realm cultivator, or an early stage Buddha light realm cultivator killed a late stage Buddha light realm cultivator, there would never be a Buddha light realm cultivator killing a true spirit realm cultivator. This was because the true spirit realm was the sign that a cultivator had truly stepped onto the high-level path of cultivation. Once a cultivator entered the true spirit realm, the cultivator's dantian chi would condense into true essence and form a spirit core in the body. Once the spirit core appeared, even if the cultivator's physical body was destroyed, as long as the spirit core was intact, they could be reborn. However, if they lost their cultivation, they would have to start all over again. Grandson with the surname Zheng, today, this old man will kill you even if I have to use all my strength. Wuli Mo was completely enraged. Previously, he wanted to kill Qin Fan for the treasures he had, but now, he didn't even care about the treasures. He just wanted to kill this person from the bottom of his heart. This time, he was not in a hurry to attack. With a flip of his hand, the golden saber that was originally on his shoulder turned into a thin silver sword. The thin sword looked very ordinary. Just from its appearance, it looked like an ordinary silver sword. However, the body of the sword was filled with turbulent spirit chi. With just a glance, Qin Fan could tell that it was a true artifact-grade sword. With the long sword in hand, Wuli Mo's eyes quickly calmed down. Even the aura on his body changed. The surging murderous intent suddenly disappeared. It was like a deep and unfathomable ocean. "What a good sword!" Qin Fan exclaimed. He knew that the reason why Wuli Mo's mentality and aura changed so much in such a short period of time was because of the silver long sword in his hand. While Qin Fan was staring at the long sword, Wuli Mo struck out. Whoosh! The sword was very soft, and only made a slight sword hum. Compared to the aura of the Dragon Slayer Golden Saber, it was a completely different style. Qin Fan immediately came to his senses, but he quickly froze. He tried to find where the sword chi was, but there was no aura in front of him. This reminded him of the shadowless sword of Broken Hang Mountain. The sword chi was also hidden, making it impossible for people to detect it. However, he knew that the sword chi of the shadowless sword was hidden because of the speed at which the sword was drawn. That was why Qin Fan rarely used the shadowless sword. It was only effective when he killed a cultivator whose level was lower than his. If he killed a cultivator whose level was higher than his, the sword chi would be easily detected. However, Wuli Mo's sword attack was very different. The speed at which he drew his sword was not fast at all. In fact, it was like an old man or old woman practicing the Tai Chi sword in the park in the morning. However, the sword chi did not appear. Instead, a strange aura of death became more and more intense. Swoosh! Wuli Mo's first strike finally landed. It took him 4 to 5 seconds to finish. If he was on the Divine Continent, he would have been killed by his opponent before he could even finish his strike. Rumble! However, the moment the sword landed, Qin Fan was surrounded by a violent explosion. Thousands of sword chi suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Quite a few sword chi had already landed on Qin Feng's body. He immediately wanted to dodge, but the sword chi was too sudden. A layer of gentle light appeared on his body, and it was as if he was wearing a layer of water. When the sword chi collided with the water, it created a wondrous scene of ripples. Water spirit true armor? You have been to the Divine Grotto.
You got this true armor from the Divine Grotto, right? Wu Liemo exclaimed. His eyes were fixed on the armor on Qin Fen's body. For a moment, he forgot to attack. Jiang Fei and the others were also dumbfounded. In a place like the northern sand region where resources were scarce, there were very few true-level treasures. Even the few of them only had 1 or 2 true-level treasures. But Qin Feng, a mere Buddha's light advanced stage cultivator, was actually able to get his hands on the water spirit true armor. They wouldn't believe it even if they were beaten to death if they said that he didn't get it from the divine cave. This kid must have been to the divine grotto. Brother Wu, use your full strength to destroy his dantian and capture him alive. Chon Yu shouted excitedly. Jiang Fei and the other 2 glanced at the white spirit divine bird. They wanted nothing more than to personally take down Qin Feng. However, they saw that the grade 8 spirit divine bird was staring at their every move. This made the 3 of them extremely depressed. They didn't know what kind of bewitching drug the man with the surname Jing had fed the white spirit divine bird. It actually made a grade 8 spirit beast willingly submit to it. Swoosh! Another subtle sword hum sounded. Wu Limeo's second sword strike fell. Perhaps it was because he saw the water spirit true armor, but his sword movements became even slower. An endless chill shot out from his body. The chill spread quickly, making Qin Fen feel like the surrounding temperature was about to freeze. A faintly discernible waning moon appeared behind Wu Liemo. When the waning moon appeared, Qin Fen suddenly had an extremely familiar feeling. He suddenly thought of the moon shame sword skill that Ren Xiaoyao used. It was exactly the same as the waning moon sword skill that Wu Liemo used. However, Wu Liemo's sword skills were more exquisite, and the hidden killing intent was more turbulent. Rumble! Unknowingly, countless sword chi had already enveloped him. When Qin Fen realized the danger and wanted to escape, there was no way out. Under the fierce impact of the sword chi, even the water spirit true armor couldn't withstand it. The ripples on the armor gradually became smaller and smaller, and tiny cracks appeared on the inside. It seemed like the armor was going to break if it continued like this. Qin Fen was in a difficult situation, but he didn't feel nervous or afraid. Instead, he felt happy because he saw the waning moon sword skill. Back in China, Qin Fen realized that Ren Xiaoyao's moon shame sword skill was an extremely high-level sword skill that was rarely seen on Earth. The sword skill that Wu Liemo was using was an enhanced version of the moon shame sword skill. Qin Fen planned to secretly learn it, and then teach it to Ren Xiaoyao. This set of sword skills was too profound. Even though Qin Fen had used the heart chant of creation, he still couldn't understand the essence of the sword skills after seeing Wu Liemo use them twice. He could have broken free from the restraints of the sword chi and counterattacked Wu Liemo, but he stood still and waited for Wu Liemo to attack again. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Another 3 strikes fell. Each time Wu Li attacked, it felt like his movements were very slow. However, after a moment, thousands of sword lights mysteriously condensed and surrounded Qin Fen. He didn't even have a chance to escape. Under the continuous impact of these violent sword chi, Qin Feng's body was filled with loud noises, and the water spirit true armor was covered with cracks. Qin Feng's thoughts moved slightly, and he hurriedly put it back into the 10,000 treasure pavilion to be nurtured. When the armor disappeared, a playful smile appeared on Wu Limeo's face. He realized that Qin Fen couldn't hold on for much longer. Perhaps after his next strike, the brat would be heavily injured and fall to the ground. Whoosh! Little grandson, fall for me! Wu Liemo seemed to have released all of his pent-up frustration. The silver sword in his hand danced slowly, and Qin Fen's eyes lit up. He felt as if he had grasped something. It was an indescribable feeling, but he knew it was the effect of the heart chant of creation. He seemed to have some understanding of the waning moon sword skill that Wu Liemo used. Whoosh! When the white light flashed in his mind, Qin Fen instinctively swung his sword. His sword was twice as fast as Wu Liemo's, but after his sword landed, there was no attack. After another second, Wu Liemo's expression changed dramatically. He stared at Qin Fen as if he was a monster. How did you do it? Chapter 1823. Boom! Just as Mo finished speaking, a loud explosion occurred on his body. He stood rooted to the ground, ignoring the bloody mess on his body. Like an idiot, he kept repeating the same question. How did you do it? Not only was Mo asking this question, but the other four were also confused. When Mo used the waning moon sword art, even Jiang Fei and the other two from the South Flat Continent were shocked. This sword art was extremely profound. The sword chi was hidden and invisible, but it instantly condensed into thousands of killing intents, making it impossible to defend. Jiang Fei, Zhang Baishan, and Hu Sui even wondered if they could break Mo's sword art in such a short period of time if they were in Mo's place. The answer in the hearts of the three was impossible. In such a short period of time, even they couldn't break Mo's sword art. They either tried their best to avoid the sharp sword chi, or forcefully resisted it and broke through the sword chi. However, Qin Feng brought up a third possibility. In such a short period of time, he actually comprehended Mo's waning moon sword art, and used it to severely injure Mo not long ago. When the loud explosion sounded, Mo fell to the ground and couldn't get up. The air froze. The truth was hard for everyone to accept, and they even mocked him. How did you do it? Mo was still asking. His hair was disheveled, and he looked like a mess. His eyes were empty, and he didn't even look at Qin Feng when he asked. He just muttered to himself like an idiot. This battle completely destroyed Mo's confidence, and even destroyed his understanding of realms. In his mind, no matter how powerful a Buddha Light Realm cultivator was, he couldn't be a match for a true Spirit Realm cultivator. However, he was defeated by Qin Feng in such a way. Defeating you is nothing. Secretly learning your sword technique is also a piece of cake. I did it so easily. Qin Feng's words made Mo spit blood. Before he could say anything, Qin Feng raised his sword and used the waning moon sword art again. This time, it was even more powerful than last time. Rumble! With a loud bang, Mo's body exploded into pieces, but a weak white ball of light flew out from the explosion, trying to escape. Master, that's Mo's elixir. Hurry and destroy it, or else Mo can regenerate, Little Pig said. Qin Feng was stunned. This was the first time he killed a true Spirit Realm cultivator by himself, and he almost forgot about the elixir. When he regained his senses, the ball of white light had already flown thousands of meters away. However, no matter how fast he couldn't escape Qin Feng's palm. After a few flashes of golden light, Qin Feng had caught up to the spirit pill. He casually swung his sword and the spirit pill exploded into smoke. When the spirit pill exploded, Qin Feng seemed to hear Mo's heart-wrenching screams, but he didn't care. He flew over to where Mo's body exploded and put his storage ring into his bag. A true Spirit Realm cultivator died at the hands of a Buddha Light Realm cultivator. No one would believe this. When the storage ring came into Qin Feng's hand, a powerful aura suddenly attacked him. Qin Feng's expression changed. At the same time, he felt a powerful divine sense sweep over him. He felt a sharp pain in his divine sense and his body couldn't react. Killing intent filled the air. Qin Feng knew that the three South Flat State cultivators had made a move. Although he had easily killed Mo, who was in the true Spirit Realm, Qin Feng felt powerless against a late-stage true Spirit Realm expert. Roar! At this critical moment, Qin Feng heard the white spirit divine bird's roar. Its roar sounded extremely angry, and with just a single roar, it actually shattered the void. Qin Feng felt that the powerful divine sense was shattered, and his body also quickly regained its freedom. Pooh! This roar was more ferocious than Qin Feng had expected. He finally saw the attacker. It was Zhang Baishan from the South Flat Continent's Tai sect. Zhang Baishan was sent flying and spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. It seemed that he had suffered internal injuries from the white spirit divine bird's roar. This scene shocked Qin Feng. That was a late-stage true Spirit Realm cultivator.
The white spirit divine bird's strength was too abnormal. Hu Sui and Jiang Fei's eyes flashed with panic. The Thunder Sect's protector Chongyue's legs were trembling. He felt fear in his heart. He had said that Qin Feng was lucky that Qin Feng didn't challenge him, but now he knew that it was his own luck. Junior brothers, I have something to do. I'll leave first. That grandson's treasure belongs to you. Jiang Fei made the first decision. Although the treasures in the White Spirit Mountain Immortal Cave were very tempting, they were useless in front of their lives. They needed to be alive to use them. Hu Sui also came to his senses. He no longer had any thoughts of staying. The level 8 Spirit Divine Bird was extremely ferocious. The three of them were still thinking that they could trap the White Spirit Divine Bird for a while. Now that the Divine Bird had made its move, they realized that they were overthinking. Once the two of them left, Chongwei didn't have the courage to stay. He immediately took out a blood-red flying sword and flew into the sky. Only Zhang Baishan was lying on the ground with serious injuries. He also wanted to leave, but he couldn't summon his true essence for a while. Little White, don't let them go! Qin Feng immediately ordered. The four of them knew that he had been to the White Spirit Mountain Immortal Cave. If they were left alive, it would be a huge problem in the future. Actually, with Qin Feng's current strength, he wasn't afraid that the four of them would come looking for him in the future. What he was most worried about was the old monster sealed in the stone wall of the Immortal Cave. According to the old man, he had been trapped in the cave for 100 years. One could only imagine how long he had lived. Such an old monster was as powerful as those immortal venerables who had not entered the world. In fact, that old man was even more terrifying than those immortal venerables in the North Sand region. Qin Feng had stolen the old monster's creation technique. He was afraid that the old man would come looking for him when he came out. Rumble! As if at the same time Qin Feng gave the order, a loud explosion sounded in the distance. He raised his head and saw that the White Spirit Divine Bird had caught up to Hu Sui. It flapped its huge wings a few times and formed two giant tornadoes. Hu Sui was trapped in the tornadoes and was blown to death. The spiritual core in his body had just flown out when it was destroyed in the tornadoes. The White Spirit Divine Bird immediately chased after Jiang Fei. Because Hu Sui and Jiang Fei had escaped in two different directions, Jiang Fei could no longer be seen. As for Chongwei, the White Spirit Divine Bird didn't care about him. He probably wanted to deal with this little ant last. However, the White Spirit Divine Bird didn't have to worry about him. Qin Feng had already taken out the 100-mile light sniper. He opened the long-range scope and Chongwei became a black dot in the light mirror. Qin Feng immediately aimed at the black dot and fired. The moment the shot was fired, the weather changed. Numerous waist-thick lightning bolts flashed in the sky. Chapter 1824. Rumble. There was a loud explosion. The lightning was fast and landed on Chongyu's body in the blink of an eye. Dream Follower. Lottie's was one of the 9 sure-kill lightning tribulations, the 9 changes true lightning. The powerful attack stunned Chongyu. He tried to circulate his demonic yuan to protect his body, but before he could do so, his body exploded into pieces. Rumble. A red bead flew out from the sea of lightning. This was a demon fetus formed when the demon race reached the demon venerable realm. It was similar to a spirit core formed in the body of a true spirit realm cultivator. When the demon fetus exploded, Chongyu was completely destroyed. A level 2 demon venerable had fallen. If the demonic cultivators saw this, their eyes would pop out of their sockets. The lightning continued to explode in the sky for a long time. Qin Feng immediately turned his spear and pointed it at Tai Sec's Zhang Baishan. Zhang Baishan had been internally injured by the White Spirit Divine Bird's explosion. Seeing Jiang Fei and the others escape, he became impatient. But even now, the chaotic true qi in his body had not stabilized. When Bailey Guang aimed at Zhang Baishan, his heart inexplicably skipped a beat. This was an instinctive reaction to danger after a true spirit realm expert gained divine sense. Not to mention that Zhang Baishan had seen Qin Fan kill Chong Yu in one shot. Even if Chong Yu was only at the early stage of the true spirit realm, the power of that shot was not to be underestimated. So when the aura of death rose from the bottom of his heart, Zhang Baishan didn't even think about it, and tried his best to escape. His figure had just run a few hundred meters away when the ground he was standing on was bombarded by several bolts of lightning, turning it into ruins. Qin Fan didn't expect his shot to miss. He thought that Zhang Baishan was seriously injured and would definitely die to the light sniper. But now it seemed that he had underestimated his opponent. The opponent was still a true spirit realm expert. How could he be killed so easily? Qin Fan immediately felt sorry for that shot. He had wasted several bolts of lightning in the energy tank. These bolts of lightning were collected when he broke through the lightning tribulations, and every time he broke through, the lightning tribulations were fatal. In other words, that shot just now cost him a lot of lives. Qin Fan was startled. This description didn't seem right. However, just as he was distracted, Zhang Baishan unexpectedly counterattacked with his saber. Even though this old fellow was heavily injured, his saber still swept up a violent hurricane and instantly sent Qin Fan flying. The hurricane didn't dissipate for a long time. Qin Fan's body swayed unsteadily in the wind. He tried to use his flying sword to break through the center of the hurricane, but a powerful divine sense suppressed his brain. He couldn't even use his flying sword. He thought he could instantly kill Zhang Baishan with the 100-mile light sniper, but now he had fallen into this situation. Qin Fan knew that he had been too careless. A true spirit cultivator was much stronger than he had imagined. Qin Fan tried to use his divine sense to communicate with the white spirit divine bird and ask it to come back to help. However, Zhang Baishan had obviously thought of this as well. His divine sense attack was extremely powerful and actually suppressed Qin Fan's divine sense. "Little grandson, you're just a bit of light realm ant, and you want to kill this old man? If it wasn't for that grade 8 spirit divine bird, you would have already died without a burial." Seeing the situation turn around, Zhang Baishan immediately became arrogant. He knew that the white spirit divine bird could come back at any time, so all of his attacks were killing moves. He was even a bit pleasantly surprised. He thought that if he killed Qin Fan before the white spirit divine bird returned, wouldn't he be pocketing all the treasures in the immortal cave? Thinking of this, Zhang Baishan's attacks became even more ferocious. Life was truly a mysterious thing. Before, he had only thought about surviving, but now he had to kill Qin Fan and take his treasures. Rumble, rumble, rumble. For a time, the sky was filled with explosions. It seemed like the white spirit divine bird had chased very far away, otherwise it would have sensed the commotion here. Qin Fan felt somewhat depressed. He knew that he couldn't rely on the white spirit divine bird anymore. Everything depended on his own strength. However, his body was trapped in the hurricane of saber chi and he couldn't break free. He wanted to use the True Yi Sword's divine sense attack to deal with Zhang Baishan, but the effect wasn't obvious. Because the water spirit true armor had already been stored in the 10,000 treasures pavilion, the sky-covering saber chi slammed into his body. His white robe was blasted into pieces, and even his body was blasted into a bloody mess. Qin Fan didn't have the time to care about the pain in his body. He was extremely depressed at this kind of fighting style where he couldn't even retaliate. "Ha! The heavens are truly looking out for me. Little grandson, you can die in peace. This old man will bring your treasures to roam the northern sand region." Zhang Baishan's smile became even wider. He could tell that Qin Fan was in a dire situation. He immediately flew over and struck out with his palm. Instantly, a huge palm imprint appeared, seemingly covering half the sky. Qin Fan felt like he was enveloped by death. He knew that this was Zhang Baishan's true attack with his full power. Even though Zhang Baishan was heavily injured, the power of this palm was still incomparably strong. At least, Qin Fan felt that he couldn't block it. If he couldn't break free from the restraints of the saber-chi hurricane, he would definitely die here. In the blink of an eye, the huge palm imprint, which was hundreds of meters away, appeared in front of him. Qin Feng was so anxious that he broke out in cold sweat. He instinctively took out his shackles and slashed out with his saber. 1. The shackles slashed down, but it didn't release the violent saber chi that he had imagined. A strange energy rippled around Qin Feng's body, and he suddenly realized that the palm imprint cyclone in front of him had actually stopped. Not only did the palm imprint cyclone stop, but the hurricane that trapped him also stopped. Even Zhang Baishan, who had flown over, stood motionless in midair. Everything was frozen, as if time had stopped. For a moment, Qin Feng forgot to kill Zhang Baishan. He looked at what was happening in front of him in shock. After he obtained Bai Ling's feather on God's Spirit Mountain, he added it to the shackles and completely created this true weapon that was out of print in the system. A long time ago, Qin Feng knew that the shackles had a time function, but he didn't know the specific performance of the time function. Now that he completely understood it, he was instantly shocked by this top-grade true weapon that was out of print in the system. Qin Feng immediately put away the messy thoughts in his mind and took out the 100-mile light sniper again. He raised the sniper, aimed, and fired. For safety's sake, Qin Feng fired 3 shots in a row. More than 10 lightning bolts, which were as thick as a person's waist, rumbled and instantly formed a sea of lightning that exploded around Zhang Baishan. At the same time, the originally still time resumed. The hurricane that trapped Qin Feng revolved, and the palm imprint in the sky flew over. Rumble! A series of undulating explosions shook the heavens and earth. There were lightning attacks and Zhang Baishan's attacks. However, Qin Feng had already flown to a safe area, while Zhang Baishan exploded into pieces in the sea of lightning. Even the spiritual pearl that flew out was instantly destroyed. Before he died, Zhang Baishan's eyes were filled with doubt. He couldn't understand what had just happened. It was clearly his palm that wanted to destroy Qin Feng, but what was going on with the sea of lightning around him? How did Qin Feng escape the shackles of his saber chi hurricane? You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.